Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh dan selamat datang. Cao An, Ta Chia Hao diucapkan kepada sidang hadirin ke webinar Yayasan Tuanku Fauziah Women in Search of Excellence siri ke-17 bertajuk Sharing the Joy of the Rabbit Chinese New Year 2023. Untuk makluman hadirin, kita kini bersiaran di Facebook rasmi Pusat Pembangunan Korporat dan Komuniti Universiti Tunku Abdul Rahman. Hadirin dan hadirat diingatkan untuk mengisi borang kehadiran dan maklum balas di pautan yang disediakan di ruangan chat. Sekiranya hadirin dan hadirat mempunyai sebarang soalan yang ingin diajukan kepada para penceramah, sila kemukakan soalan tersebut di ruangan komen di platform ini. Kerjasama hadirin sekalian amatlah dihargai. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. Majlis akan dimulakan dengan lagu Negaraku, diikuti lagu Dirgahayu Tuanku dan akhir sekali lagu Yutar The Shining Light.
Dirgahayu sejahtera, Duli yang teramat mulia Tuanku Raja Muda, pewaris tata Jamalul Lail. Maha Esa Rabbil Jalil, Dirgahayu sejahtera, Duli yang teramat mulia Tuanku Raja Muda, pewaris tata Jamalul Lail. Pewaris tata Jamalul Lail.
We can see the Utah light shining down to a world of love and peace. All the world is waiting for us now. We'll take the step to make Utah known, and we're standing proud. 'Cause days with what you taught us given us, we realize it leads to us, and every step we take will feel you Beyond the stars we see the road ahead, and there is wisdom inside of us. We'll hold our heads up high and face each day. Hold the U-turn light along our way, and we're standing proud on high. Be the one who makes a change. Shine our light in every way. Guide my spirit through the darkest days. With what you taught us given us, we realize the best in us, and every step we take will feel your
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. Salam keluarga Malaysia. Ciao an, ta jia hao. Raja berdaulat, rakyat berilmu, negeri sejahtera, Perlis maju. Dengan penuh hormat dan takzimnya Patik menghadap Duli Yang Teramat Mulia, Raja Muda Perlis, Tuanku Said Faizuddin Putra, Ibni Tuanku Said Sirajuddin Jamalul Lail, merangkap penasihat Yayasan Tuanku Fauziyah. Dan menghadap Duli Yang Teramat Mulia, Raja Puan Muda Perlis, Tuanku Hajjah Lailatul Syahrin Akashah Khalil, merangkap pengurusi Yayasan Tuanku Fauziyah. Ampun Tuanku. Terlebih dahulu, Patik merafak sembah menjunjung setinggi-tinggi kasih atas limpah perkenan duli-duli tuanku menyempurnakan perasmian dan penutupan webinar Yayasan Tuanku Fauziyah Women in Search of Excellence siri ke-17 yang bertajuk Sharing the Joy of the Rabbit Chinese New Year 2023, anjuran Yayasan Tuanku Fauziyah dengan kerjasama Universiti Tunku Abdul Rahman. Patik memohon ampun limpah perkenan duli-duli tuanku untuk Patik meneruskan atur cara majlis. Ampun tuanku. Yang berbahagia, Engineer Profesor Datuk Dr. Yu Hong Tat, Presiden Universiti Tunku Abdul Rahman. Yang berbahagia, Tan Sri Datuk Sri Dr. Ng Yen Yen, Moderator webinar. Barisan penceramah yang dimuliakan, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan yang dihormati, para peserta webinar dan sidang hadirin sekalian. Selamat datang ke webinar Yayasan Tuanku Fauziyah Women in Search of Excellence siri ke-17 yang bertajuk Sharing the Joy of the Rabbit Chinese New Year 2023, anjuran Yayasan Tuanku Fauziyah dengan kerjasama Universiti Tunku Abdul Rahman. Bagi memberkati majlis pada hari ini, majlis menjemput Yang Berusaha Encik Muhammad Syuja bin Saidin dari Fakulti Industri Kreatif Universiti Tunku Abdul Rahman untuk memimpin bacaan doa.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Hamdan yuwafi ni'amahu wa yukafi'u mazidah. Ya Rabbana lakal hamdu kama yanbaghi li jalali wajhika wa 'azim sultanik. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Mannan, Engkaulah Tuhan yang memiliki pemerintahan yang mengatasi segala kekuasaan. Maha suci Engkau Tuhan daripada segala kekurangan dan kelemahan. Kami merafak tangan kehambaan, menyusun kata, mempersembah doa permohonan dan salawat kesyukuran kepada junjungan besar Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, penghulu ikutan buat seluruh sahabat seperjuangan baginda sehinggalah ke hari kemudian. Ya Allah, Ya Quddus, Ya Fattah, Ya Dzal Jalali wal Ikram. Engkaulah Tuhan yang Maha Penyayang dan Pemurah, yang telah mengurniakan kenikmatan yang mencurah-curah. lembutkanlah hati kami untuk menerima hidayah-Mu. Hindarilah kami dari segala mihnah dan musibah, agar kami sentiasa bersyukur atas segala kurnia dan anugerah. Ya Allah, ya Dzal Judi wal Karam, ya Dzal Fadli wal Ihsan, sinarilah hati kami dengan ilmu penuh berhemah. Cucurilah hati kami dengan mawaddah dan rahmah, agar kami bisa berdiri tegak mendukung Yayasan Tuanku Fauziah dengan penuh amanah, bersatu hati dan tidak berpecah. Diberkati Allah dalam naungan ukhuwah, dipermudahkan urusan kebajikan dengan penuh hikmah, diganjari pahala atas segala usaha dan lelah, di dunia berbahagia dan di sana beroleh jannah. Ya Allah, ya akramal akramin, ya wasi'al maghfirah, wahai Tuhan yang memberi petunjuk, tumbuhkanlah dalam jiwa kami pohon kerendahan diri di hadapan keagungan dan kebesaran-Mu, ya Ilahi. Muliakanlah hidup kami dengan sifat terpuji, hiasi diri kami dengan akhlak kesopanan yang tinggi, agar hidup kami diridai dan diberkati. Siramilah lautan kasih sayang yang tidak bertepi buat seluruh pimpinan menara ilmu ini. Allahumma ja'al jam'ana hadha jam'an marhuma wa tafarruqana min ba'dihi tafarruqan ma'suma. Ya Allah, jadikanlah pertemuan kami ini pertemuan yang dirahmati dan perpisahan yang dipelihara. Sucikanlah hati kami dari dosa. Kuatkanlah iman kami sepanjang masa. Dampingkanlah kami dengan ridha-Mu setiap detik dan ketika, agar kami dijemput pulang dengan jiwa yang diterima. Allahumma antas salam wa minkas salam wa ilaika ya'udus salam. Kurniakanlah kesihatan, keselamatan dan kesejahteraan yang berpanjangan, serta keseluruhan taufik dan hidayah buat Tuanku Duli yang Maha Mulia, Tuanku Tengku Fauziah binti Almarhum Tengku Abdul Rashid, Raja Perempuan Perlis, merangkap penaung diraja Yayasan Tuanku Fauziah. Duli yang teramat mulia, Tuanku Said Faizuddin Putra Ibni Tuanku Said Sirajuddin Jamalulail, Raja Muda Perlis, merangkap penasihat Yayasan Tuanku Fauziah. Dan Duli yang teramat mulia, Tuanku Hajah Lailatul Syahrin Akashah Khalil, Raja Puan Muda Perlis, merangkap pengerusi Yayasan Tuanku Fauziah. Dengan iringan doa selamat Raja berdaulat, negara berkat, warga afiat, dunia akhirat beroleh syafaat. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adzaban nar. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in.
Amin, 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 ya Rabbal Alamin. Terima kasih atas bacaan doa itu tadi. Webinar pada hari ini akan mempunyai 6 sesi bersama yang berbahagia Tan Sri Datuk Sri Dr. Ng Yen Yen, Ahli Lembaga Pemegang Amanah Yayasan Tuanku Fauziah, Board of Trustees yang merupakan bekas Menteri Pembangunan Wanita, Keluarga dan Masyarakat serta bekas Menteri Pelancongan dari tahun 2008 hingga tahun 2013 sebagai moderator. Dan barisan penceramah yang terdiri daripada tenaga-tenaga pengajar di UTAR. Patik mohon perkenan duli-duli tuanku untuk ke-6 sesi ini dikendalikan sepenuhnya dalam bahasa Inggeris. Majlis diteruskan dengan persembahan video Yayasan Tuanku Fauziah diikuti dengan video Universiti Tunku Abdul Rahman.
They call me crazy cause I'm facing all my giants. They try to scare me into thinking I can fight it. They tell me I should never even think of trying. But that's just me, I'm gonna live out in defiance. Now's our time and we won't hesitate, so come on.
Majlis kini mempersilakan Yang Berbahagia Engineer Profesor Datuk Dr. Yu Hong Tat, Presiden Universiti Tunku Abdul Rahman untuk menyampaikan ucapan aluan.
Ampun Tuanku, menghadap duri yang teramat mulia, Raja Muda Perlis, Tuanku Syed Faizuddin Putra, Ibnih Tunku Syed Sirajuddin Jamalullah. Menghadap duri yang teramat mulia, Raja Puan Muda Perlis, Tuanku Hajiah Lailatul Syahrin Akasha Karya. Ampun Tuanku, Patik merafak sembah memohon ampuni limpah perkenan duli-duli Tuanku untuk mempersembahkan ucapan buat duli-duli Tuanku. Terlebih dahulu, Patik mewakili seluruh warga Universiti Tunku Abdul Rahman, UTA, merafak sembah menjunjung setinggi penghargaan dan junjungan kasih atas perkenan duli-duli Tuanku untuk turut bersama dan menyempurnakan webinar Yayasan Tuanku Fauzia Seri ke-17, Sharing the Joy of the Rabbit Chinese New Year 2023. Sesungguhnya, penlibatan dan kebersamaan duri-duri Tuanku bersama patik-patik sekalian amatlah bermakna sekali dan besar artinya buat patik-patik sekalian dalam memeriahkan program pada hari ini. Ini jelas mempamerkan keprihatinan duri-duri Tuanku untuk turut bersama patik-patik hamba rakyat sekalian, terutama dalam berkongsi pandangan berhubung topik diskusi webinar pada hari ini. Di kesempatan ini, pihak UTA juga berbesar hati menyembah maklum kehadapan duli-duli tuanku akan komitmen kehadiran berbagai pihak yang turut hadir untuk menjayakan webinar pada hari ini. Sesungguhnya, kehadiran semua pihak pada pagi ini menunjukkan sokongan dan komitmen dalam menjayakan webinar Yayasan Tuanku Fauzia siri ke-17 ini. Ampun Tuanku. Patik sekali lagi merafak sembah memohon ampuni limpah perkenan duri-duri Tuanku untuk Patik menyampaikan sepatah dua kata kepada semua hadirin dalam bahasa Inggeris. Ampun Tuanku. Yang berbahagia Tan Sri Datuk Seri Dr. Ng Yen Yen, esteemed speakers, distinguished guests, members of the organizing committee, participants, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Yayasan Tuanku Fauzia Webinar Series 17, Sharing the Joy of the Rabbit Chinese New Year 2023. On behalf of UTA, I would like to take this opportunity to convey my sincere heartfelt appreciation to Duli Yang Teramat Mulia, Raja Muda Perlis Tuanku Said Faizuddin Putra, Ibni Tuanku Said Sirajuddin Jamalulai, and Duli Yang Teramat Mulia, Raja Puan Muda Perlis Tuanku Hajiah Lailatul Syahrin Akasha Khalil for gracing the Yayasan Tuanku Fauzia webinar today. Yayasan Tuanku Fauzia was established on 19 April 2004 with the motto Women in Search of Excellence. Since 2021, several webinars reflecting the importance of women's involvement in national development have been conducted in collaborations with various institutions of higher learning. Today, UTA is indeed proud to collaborate with YTF to conduct the Series 17 of YTF webinar. Special thanks to the YTF and the members of the organizing committee who have made this webinar a success. On this occasion, I would also like to thank Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri Datuk Seri Dr. Ng Yen Yen for being here with us to moderate this meaningful webinar. I would like to express my sincere thanks to our speakers and participants for taking part in this webinar. The webinar today, titled Sharing the Joy of the Rabbit Chinese New Year 2023, would include a variety of interesting topics such as Year of the Rabbit 2023, Chinese New Year Ang Pao Giving, Chinese New Year Reunion Dinner, Nian Gao, sweet sticky rice cake, and the do's and don'ts of Chinese New Year. We hope you will have great insight at this very special and meaningful webinar. According to the Chinese horoscope 2023, the year of the rabbit will be a good time for all the zodiac animal signs and an extremely lucky year for most of them. With that, I wish everyone a joyous and prosperous Chinese New Year. I hope through the sharing today, participants will get to know more about the significance and the traditions of Chinese New Year. I wish all of you a very productive webinar with exciting discussions and exchange of knowledge. Thank you. Ampun Tuanku. Demikian serba sedikit sembah ucapan Patik mewakili seluruh warga UTA dan sekali lagi Patik menjunjung setinggi-tinggi kasih atas limpah perkenan duli-duli Tuanku menyempurnakan pembukaan dan penutupan sesi webinar Yayasan Tuanku Fauzia siri ke-17, Sharing the Joy of the Rabbit Chinese New Year 2023. Sekian.
Terima kasih Profesor Datuk Dr. Yu, Presiden UTAR. Atur cara majlis diteruskan dengan titah perasmian oleh Duli Yang Teramat Mulia, Raja Muda Perlis, Tuanku Said Faizuddin Putra, Ibni Tuanku Said Sirajuddin Jamalul Lail.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. Raja berdaulat, rakyat berilmu, negeri sejahtera, Perlis maju. Alhamdulillah, praises to Allah Azza wa Jalla for His blessings. First and foremost, a special thanks to University Tunku Abdul Rahman, UTAR, especially to the President, IR Prof. Dr. Yu Hong Tat. My appreciation also goes to everyone who has successfully organized this meaningful Yayasan Tunku Fauziah YTF webinar, sharing the joy of the Rabbit Chinese New Year 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, Malaysia is an incredibly diverse country which consists of many different ethnicities, languages, and religions, and people from each ethnicity have generally retained their ancestors' cultural customs. As a result, Malaysian society accommodates a rich variety of lifestyles, beliefs, values, and celebrations. Today, I'm very excited to be part of this YTF webinar to learn more about the Chinese New Year celebration in our country. Chinese New Year is perhaps the biggest and one of the most important annual festivals for Chinese and the Chinese communities worldwide. Chinese New Year 2023 falls on Sunday, 22nd January, which is just around the corner. This year is the year of the rabbit, specifically the water rabbit. I understand that the sign of the rabbit is a symbol of longevity, peace, and prosperity in Chinese culture, and 2023 is predicted to be a year of hope. Chinese or Lunar New Year highlights some of the most interesting aspects of Chinese traditions and rituals. This festival, celebrated by the Chinese, is also known as time for family reunions. Firecrackers, lion dances, mandarin oranges, and giving as well as collecting ampao or red packets containing money. The festival, which once also marked the beginning of spring in China, begins on the first day of the lunar calendar year, on the first day of the new moon, and ends on the 15th day, known as Cap Go Mei. It is a cultural event and can be a religious one too for the Buddhists, Confucians, and Taoists who offer prayers. Ladies and gentlemen, unique to Malaysia is the open house concept where friends and families would visit the homes of those who are celebrating the festival to wish them well and enjoy the feast prepared by their hosts. These celebrations provide opportunities to demonstrate the richness of Chinese culture and to celebrate the diversity of the many cultures represented in Malaysia today. In keeping with the Malaysian hospitality, today's webinar is a good platform to form a solid and united society regardless of race and religion. It's my sincere hope that today's webinar provides every participant the opportunity to understand and learn more about the Chinese New Year celebration in Malaysia. It is also my hope that the year of the rabbit will bring good fortune, peace, and strength to all. Ladies and gentlemen, I hereby declare open the Yayasan Tunku Fauziah YTF webinar, sharing the joy of the rabbit Chinese New Year 2023. Kongsi Facai, Sinian Kuailat. Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih.
Menjunjung kasih Tuanku. Demikianlah tadi titah perasmian webinar Yayasan Tunku Fauziah Women in Search of Excellence siri ke-17 oleh Duli Yang Teramat Mulia Raja Muda Perlis. Majlis dengan berbesar hati memohon perkenan duli-duli tuanku untuk sama-sama bergambar kenangan secara atas talian bersama para hadirin. Tangkap layar akan diambil sebanyak 3 kali. Hadirin diminta untuk membuka kamera video masing-masing. Sekarang, mohon berikan senyuman manis dengan kiraan 1, 2, 3. Sekali lagi senyum 1, 2, 3. Dan untuk lagak bebas 1, 2, 3. Menjunjung kasih Tuanku. Majlis diteruskan dengan sesi perkongsian oleh moderator dan barisan penceramah pada hari ini. Sebelum itu, mohon kerjasama sidang hadirin untuk mengemukakan sebarang soalan, cadangan dan juga maklum balas di ruangan chat sepanjang sesi ini berlangsung. Dengan ini, majlis diserahkan kepada Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri Datuk Sri Dr. Ng Yen Yen, moderator webinar hari ini untuk sesi selanjutnya. Dipersilakan.
Salam sejahtera, mengharap Duli Yang Teramat Mulia, Tuanku Raja Muda Perlis dan Duli Yang Teramat Mulia, Tuanku Raja Puan Muda Perlis. Ampun Tuanku, patik mohon ampun limpah berkenan Duli-Duli Tuanku untuk patik memulakan sesi webinar yang ke-17 pada hari ini. Ampun Tuanku, patik would like to seek Tuanku's permission to moderate the session today in English. Ampun Tuanku. Participants, a very good morning to all, and thank you for joining this very interesting but light-hearted, delightful webinar to share the joy of Chinese New Year 2023, the Rabbit Year. As Professor, you have told us, and also Tuanku with his vast knowledge of the Rabbit Year, it's going to be a good year. But how good is it going to be? What should we do to make sure this year is a good year? I'm sure the speakers will share with us. Ladies and gentlemen, Chinese New Year is the biggest festival for the over 1.3 billion Chinese throughout the world. The 650 million overseas Chinese, in addition to the 1.3 billion Chinese in China. Everybody's celebrating Chinese New Year. But what's the significance? What's the value? Why? Why? We shall hear more about this. It's not one day, ladies and gentlemen, participants, it's 15 days. But is it 15 days? You may be wrong. I don't think it's 15 days. It may be longer than that. Whoa, we have another 3 more days to celebrate. And for Chinese New Year, it's about tradition, it's about culture, it's about value system. And the most important value that Chinese New Year brings to the community, to Chinese, is filial piety. For the Chinese, when you don't have filial piety, you really have no values. First. Second, Chinese New Year is not just be celebrated anyhow. There are do's and don'ts. What food to eat, what not to eat. And who takes all this responsibility in the family, in the community? None other than the homemaker. And generally, over 90% are women. So today our speakers, 6 wonderful speakers, they're experts and professors in their field, but they're all homemakers. And they're going to tell us all about Chinese New Year, which you would not learn from any schools. I want to say this. Why does WISE, Women in Search of Excellence, do this program? What is it got to do with women in search of excellence? Everything. Everything. Values, culture, tradition is the anchor of the family, which should be passed down generation after generation and after generation. Who does that? Mothers, you, me, and the participants out there. That's why when you're excellent, I always tell my members, you want to be an excellent woman, you want to go into politics and be successful, make sure your family is good. Chinese is a saying, 修身齐家治国平天下. First, enhance yourself, excellent in yourself. 修身. Second, 齐家. You build your family. Then you come to 治国. Then you go into national building, nation building. Then with peace and prosperity throughout the world. That's why we chose sharing the joy of the 2023 Chinese New Year Rabbit. But there's a deeper meaning. The deeper meaning is through this, to the women. We bring more peace to the world. We bring more prosperity to the world. And we all share in our peace and prosperity. So ladies and gentlemen, Women in Search of Excellence, sharing the Chinese New Year 2023. Before I proceed further to invite the first speaker, there's a bit of change in the schedule. Initially, the first speaker was supposed to be all about the 12th New Year zodiac, Associate Professor Dr. Chia. But as to be expected, if you stay in Kuala Lumpur, you're going to know one thing, especially during festival, traffic jam, traffic jam, traffic jam. So our first speaker is caught in a traffic jam. And with your permission, participants, I take this responsibility to have the first speaker to be talked to us about very important Ang Pao. The first speaker will be Professor Dr. C. Ching Mei, and she's an educationist, she's a counseling psychologist, and she'll tell us all about Ang Pao. Ampon Tuanku. Professor Dr. C. Ching Mei, the floor is yours. Please proceed.
Ampun Tuanku, terima kasih Tan Sri Dr. Ng Yen Yen, tuan-tuan puan-puan, selamat pagi, salam sejahtera, salam perpaduan. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to share with you on the Ang Pao giving. Hong Pao in Mandarin, Lai Si in Cantonese, Ang Pao in Hokkien. So very clearly, many of us, when we use the word Ang Pao, it's actually it's a Hokkien expression of a gift of money inserted in a red envelope to be given during Chinese New Year, birthday, weddings. And the important thing of it is a symbol of good wishes. Why red? Red symbolizes energy, happiness, good luck, courage, sacrifice, and love. So that's why red is such an important thing during this festive season. Traditional Ang Pao will be decorated with many beautiful Chinese calligraphy and symbols. And it's very interesting that I learned about Ang Pao, not from reading, but very much from my mother and my grandmother. And I think women play a very important role in educating our children about culture and values of culture. Everybody loves story. So this is the legend of how Ang Pao originated. It's a very old story about a demon called Sui who terrified children every Chinese New Year Eve when the children go to sleep. So to keep children safe, what the parents do is to put out candles, light up the whole house to keep the demon Sui away from their children. On the New Year's Eve, parents give children the 8 coins. At that time, there's no dollars yet, to play, to keep them awake. So the children will wrap the coins in red paper, open up, wrap, unwrap, until they're very tired and they all fall asleep. And then parents normally will place the 8 coins under the pillow of the children to protect the children. Sui tries to touch the head of the children, and so these 8 coins eliminate or emit light that chase the demon away. So these 8 coins turn out to be 8 fairies. So the story goes and news spread, and everybody started tying rich copper coins in red strings. And you still see it today as part of the decoration in our home. So this practice evolved into Chinese New Year Ang Pao. So the meaning is sui qian, suppressing the sui money. And giving Ang Pao became a way of protecting children, keeping them safe and bringing good wishes. Let's go back to history a bit. When I was asked to present this paper, I started reading about Ang Pao just to check if my mother and my grandmother told me all the stories and if the stories were all true. And it's actually true. And it started in the Han Dynasty, where the elders would tie coins, at that time coins, into red string for children to ward off evil spirit. So you notice everything starts to ward off evil spirit. Then during the Tang Dynasty, and it's very interesting to note that the Tang Dynasty is the richest dynasty. And the emperor at that time gave gold coins and silver coins to his concubines to give as charm to protect their babies. Then during the Song Dynasty, actually it's very interesting that the Song Dynasty in the 12th century, people started giving money to their children, to well-wishers, people come to their house to greet during Chinese New Year. Do you know that actually the first day of the first month, that's the Spring Festival, that's Chinese New Year, started during the Song Dynasty? And the custom of giving Ang Pao money in the Ang Pao is actually lucky money, it's considered lucky money. So the tradition of giving Ang Pao continue to the Ming and the Qing dynasty. But now, because there's Chinese New Year, people started to have firecrackers, sweets, cakes, and that's how we started celebrating Chinese New Year. In the 20th century, in the Republic of China, people started giving 100 coins wrapped in red paper, telling you that, may you live 100 years. Today, we have $1 of $100. We have $10, $100. If you are very rich, we have $100 of 100 notes. So this is to tell you to live for many hundreds and hundreds of years. It's longevity, actually, the wishes. So this is what it is like. So now we actually use dollars in our ang pao to give, to wish the person a safe and a peaceful year. Now, symbolism of ang pao. It was very interesting to note that we go to the bank, we take ang pao papers without understanding that the symbols of the thing that you see in the ang pao. Now, the motifs and the graphics and the symbols have meaning. If you see fishes, mainly it's a koi fishes, what does it mean? It means may every year ends with ample surplus. Yi, nian nian yu yi. So that's the fishes man. The flowers, very often you see phony flowers, the pink flowers, very common in Asia. It means may your riches bloom like flowers in the spring. Then you also see dragon or a horse in the ang pao papers. It means may you have the vigor, spirit, and energy of the dragon or horse. And if it's a coin with treasures, it means blessing you with wealth and prosperity. And if you see in the ang pao, there are mandarin oranges, it means bringing you luck and big benefits. And you notice that the word kam is gold. So may you be blessed with a bright golden year ahead. You also see phoenix. Phoenix is a legendary, mystical bird. And it means you'll be blessed with renewal, transformation, and longevity. So normally we give the phoenix to old people because it is to bless them with longevity, transformation. And you also see pineapple. If you look at pineapple clearly, it's actually the outline of a phoenix. And it equally represents celebration of hospitality, prosperity, and flourishing together. And you also see, like this year, you will see in the ang pao paper a lot of more symbol of rabbit because this is the year of the rabbit. Generally, Chinese New Year, ang pao means giving best wishes by our parents and our grandparents. In return, we wish our grandparents and parents a good, kind of a healthy, long life. So it is a wishes of two directions. I want to share a bit of how ang pao has evolved over time. In the past, ang pao is only given to juniors and single adults. So if you are single adult and 40 years old, you'll be given ang pao. But now you notice that ang pao is also given to married couples. So I still receive ang pao every year from my elder sister to me and my husband. So the ang pao giving to couples younger than themselves are also being done. And also now boss also give their employee ang pao. So this is something that has evolved over time. And also only married people give ang pao. Now no more. So Tan Sri said that ang pao, she's going to receive a lot of ang pao, which is true. Now our children, working unmarried individuals, our children give ang pao to their parents and to their grandparents. And in the past, ang pao is only given during the 15 days. But now ang pao is given a few days before New Year, even after New Year we give. So we find that it's beyond the 15 days. And then ang pao must be red in the past. But now you see yellow ang pao and gold ang pao and orange ang pao also. So there's a shift of colors. And then you also see that it's given when the junior visit the elderly. Means if I bring my children, so in the past we love visiting because when we visit, we receive ang pao. Now, even if you don't come, like my sister has 4 children and the children don't visit me because they are busy, in the absence, I'll give my sister 4 ang pao to be given to her children. So we do, we said we kind of give to the parents, they say give it to your children. So you need not have to come and visit me for Chinese New Year. It's called absent relatives who don't come, we still give the ang pao. In the past, ang pao must always be in pairs. But because Malaysia printed the $5 notes, we are actually given $5 ang pao at the same time. So there's been quite some changes. As a general rule, you will notice that for our parents and in-laws, normally we have $88 to $388,588. That's the general rule of the thumb of giving amount. When we give to our own children, it's normally $20 to $200. But to our own siblings, we give our unmarried siblings, we give $50 to $200. And to cousins and relatives, it's $10 to $50. To neighbors, to friends who visit us, to sometimes our guards, we normally give between $8 to $20. So this has been a kind of a rule that kind of help us. To immediate families, you notice children, it is very popular to give 88, double prosperity, fat. Sometimes we give 168, which means smooth luck and prosperity. 288 means easy to gain prosperity. So what would you like to wish your family? You want to wish your grandfather easy to gain prosperity, we give him 288. But if you want to wish him double prosperity, we just give him 88. So there's a meaning to it. I would like to spend a little bit time talking about the do's and don'ts of ang pao. Very important, the do's is please stick to even numbers, pairs. Don't give odd numbers, 1, 3, 7. Try not to use that because 2 means double harmony. 6 means smooth and good luck. 8 means wealth and success. So you notice why we give 8 all the time. Interesting, first time we are allowed longevity, eternity is 9. So longevity is 9. So actually we can give 9 to old people because that's longevity. Please avoid number 4 because that's 4. 4 是die. So it's considered bad luck. So we don't give 4 normally. Avoid torn notes. That's why we find all of us last week has been a crazy week. We all run to the bank, we queue because everybody must have new notes. So in Chinese tradition, we don't give old notes, neither do we give torn notes. No. We must always use 2 hands to give. And also teach our children to receive ang pao with 2 hands. So that is important to educate. And it's always from the big to the small. So don't scramble for the ang pao. Allow your elder brother to go, Jie to go. Everybody takes their turn to collect. So it's from the elder to the younger ones, senior to the junior. Okay, don't open. Never open ang pao in the presence of the giver. It's considered rude. And no white envelopes. White envelopes are considered for funerals and for funerals. So in Malaysia, in China, white is not being used. But if you read a little bit further, in Korea and in Japan, they do use white envelopes. And the white envelopes have nice paintings on it. Yeah. So each culture differ a little bit. And the do's is learn to greet the giver, 恭喜发财, happiness and prosperity, it means. Don't reuse ang pao packet. Means don't take money out, put some more inside and give it to people. Because it is believed that the ang pao that I give you is my blessing for you, meant for you. So you should keep the ang pao, keep the ang pao paper, or you can just throw it away so that your luck don't fly away to someone else. And it's always very important to prepare extra ang pao. So we normally now prepare a lot of ang pao 16 days because we're expecting it to be Eve and Gome. So we actually allow ourselves to prepare the extra ang pao. Let me conclude by this. The culture of ang pao is not religion. The culture of ang pao means interpersonal relationship of the Chinese people. It is actually relationship. It's about love, it's about family, it's about people within our circle. So it is about relationship. And ang pao is not about the money. Ang pao is a sign of prosperity. Ang pao is we give to someone and we give someone love. Ang pao means peace and good luck. Ang pao means exchanging good wishes with each other. So sometimes people give me $100, but I'm too poor. I give back $10 or $20. It's just a meaning of reciprocating kindness or goodness. So I would like to end with this and say, thank you very much for listening in and 恭喜发财，安坤团库。
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Professor C. Well, I've learned a lot. I always wondered why there was 8 bronze coins in the present. I couldn't understand that. So I learned that a lot. Thank you for this first knowledge I've gained today. And the second, I have a question, and that's, is the amount of money in the ang pao matter? Well, you've answered the question already in your final few minutes. Is actually the thought attached to it. It's an interpersonal relationship. Well, I think what's important is that give 2, 6, 8, 9. Never give a 4. Never give a 4, right? And thirdly is you do not need to reciprocate with the amount of money, as you said. You know, it is your thoughts, your blessings, and that's sufficient. In fact, some of us just keep the ang pao, the money there. Just keep always for a rainy day. The blessing will last forever. We have some time, Professor. I want to talk about this ang pao and the Chinese New Year tea ceremony. Although I'm entirely English educated, my parents are from China, and I have this practice that on the second day of New Year, everybody gets ready for the tea ceremony. Otherwise, no ang pao, right? So as you said, but then our tea ceremony begins with the youngest. The youngest will come. Of course, me as a grandparent, I get to sit on the main chair and give. And those below 12 will have to kneel down, serve me tea, serve my husband tea, and get an ang pao from each. I like that idea because it really strengthens the idea of bonding and respect and filial piety. I always like the Malay culture whereby they actually kiss the hand during Hari Raya Idul Fitri. They ask for forgiveness. I think it's wonderful. So I honestly myself, but those above 12, no need to kneel. Those above 12, just, a nod and all. I find that is the most important program for my Chinese New Year. There's ang paos are given for the family during a tea ceremony. But other than that, of course, who you meet and give. And I really thank you for emphasizing on the don'ts. Do not open your ang pao in front of the giver. I find this happening too often. And I hope that parents, of course, mothers generally, and also fathers, please take a note that when you give ang pao to them, tell them cannot open the ang pao, 唔得開㗎，不可以開的。Take home and put under your pillow. It may grow double. Who knows? Okay, I have another question here. My parents taught me to give ang pao to my elders and relatives after Tong, but before Chinese New Year, because money helps them financially to celebrate Chinese New Year. I think it's a great thought. It's a great thought, especially due to this type of inflation. Things are so expensive. But what do you think of this? That the parent advised her or him to give the ang pao after winter solstice, this is after December 21st, so that they have sufficient money to celebrate Chinese New Year. What are your thoughts?
I think it's a very important thing, especially when we know that our parents and grandparents are not working, so they don't have the financial means. So normally after the winter solstice, we actually give ang pao to the parents so that they have the money to prepare ang pao to give out to the children and also prepare New Year for visitors to come. So I think it's a very sweet gesture, and I think it's a good practice. Yeah.
I suppose there's no harm giving twice, isn't it, Prof?
Yes.
You give after Tong, a big one for them go shopping and prepare ang pao. And then second day, hoi ni ma open year, you give another one lah. Yeah, I think it's all about, especially to your parents, especially to your close relatives. Chinese New Year ang pao is also the time to help financially, subtly. Sometimes parents don't mind how much you give them, you know. My son says, is it okay, I give you how much? I say, as much as you can afford, I don't mind. But for us grandparents and seniors, we don't really have to give them too much. It's a token, yeah? So, but, you know, I like the talk ang pao. Can somebody, I mean, I'm sure, I'm very interested. You see this ang pao? It was last year's ang pao, isn't it? It's a tiger.
Yes.
From Malaysia, you know, very, very creative. Then this year, I already received the sample ang pao. It's a peony and the rabbits. Isn't that beautiful? The peony and the rabbit. And the peony is so important. Chinese say qi hua. Is it everything opens and blooms for you in spring. Then now even better, now this rabbit, they even have a gold-plated rabbit for ang pao. See, gold-plated rabbit for ang pao. So if I can afford it, I may give it my grandchildren. But I think I can only give 3 grandchildren, not the whole 7. See, Malaysia. And then, of course, this is all about, what you say, this is good luck, right? This is good luck. Good luck. Good luck. And then this is about, interesting, this is about peace and health. And then, okay, the last one, nobody can guess, is a tiger last year. Okay, last year. So ang paos come in so many ways. I don't know about other countries. I've never seen an ang pao from China because I've not received an ang pao from China at all, or other countries. Malaysia is very, very creative. Yeah. So ang paos and the thought behind ang paos and what to do, what not to do. And actually ang paos is also very helpful when people need support, like, you know, children, school children, they need to go to school and they don't have money. And that's the time they look forward to ang paos and all. So, okay, this is a very interesting question. I find this very, very interesting. This is the era of technology. I mean, it's so interesting. Nowadays, ang pao can also be sent via online. Is this a good practice? For me, I rather have it physical, right? Online. It's not like me personal, but what do you think?
Actually, when you go online, it's the banking way of promotion. But I think during the whole pandemic, I think a lot of people help each other by doing the ang pao online. So that is at that time relevant. But now that we can see each other and touch and feel the ang pao, I think it'd be very good to receive the ang pao and keep the red packet, because these are all the wishes that we get for the year.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I forgot about, I mean, look at me. I forgot about the last 3 years. We didn't celebrate New Year for 3 years, 019, 000, 01, 02, 4 years, literally. So you have no choice but to give online. But now that we can travel, we can meet, I think nothing replaces going home. Nothing replaces being physical, giving your blessings in a physical ang pao. I think I hope that tradition won't die off. Of course, they're overseas, no choice. Yeah. So that's a very interesting question. So is there anything you want to add, Prof?
That's it. I have a very good point that I think you brought up, which I want to emphasize, and that is about that we every first day of New Year or second day of New Year, we kneel down to some cha.
Yes.
Present tea to our parents.
Yeah.
I think it's a very good practice. For many of us, like me being a first generation Chinese here, we were asked to do it. And I think that after then our children, our grandchildren, they kind of forget this culture. I think this culture is very important because the action and the act of kneeling down and presenting tea to the parents is actually a sign of humility and filial piety. And I think in this modern generation, being a psychologist myself, I find that we have lost that touch of filial piety and respect for the elders. And I think sometimes it's very hard to say, I respect you. But the kneeling down and presenting the tea is really a symbol of humility and respect.
Thank you, Professor, because my parents never practiced this, I initiated myself because precisely I share your thoughts. One thing to say, but action, nothing like action. So the one time a year, all the little ones who kneel to first uncle, second uncle, third uncle, fourth uncle will kneel down, and then my younger son must give tea to the second brother, third brother, etc. But you have to train them early. You cannot say, "Hey, this year I'm going to have tea ceremony. Yeah, you all do that." No way. They are not used to that. So mine have been brought up since they were like 1 year old to do that. So I want to encourage mothers, parents, especially young mothers and parents. I think, like you're a psychologist, you're a psychologist, education psychologist. This action actually has a very strong impact on the psyche. It reminds them the level of seniority. It reminds them of respect and humility. So, but my friends all envy me, but they cannot do it because the children are too big. So I want to share this, is that start them young, start them very young. Yeah. So hopefully after this webinar, we see more families, a young family. Very easy, just get 2 chairs, right? 2 cushions, a nice teacup, small teacup. We do red date water, Wilongan, yeah? And then you make sure somebody is there and they like to be in charge. Happy New Year, may you live long, Papa. And they say, quite give. Good. Okay. All right. Thank you. Please practice it, because you'll never, ever regret this because it's instilled in them, right? So that's wonderful. I've learned a lot about 8 coins and what else you want to share us? Last 2 minutes, Professor. Say something, but sorry. Sorry, go ahead.
I think the idea of ang pao, always remember, learn to say a few good words. Because many of us are not Chinese educated, so it's so hard to express. So I actually go into the Google. I Google all the good wishes, and I actually give each one and say, you all say what you want to say. Pick one to say.
So can you pick 4 good ones for a simple 4? Can you pick 4 for the participants?
Okay. I have actually a few of them that you can say. Let me go back to my little notes. You can actually say it, may every year of yours be filled with ample surplus.
Okay.
May your riches bloom like the flowers in the spring.
Wow, so artistic. Okay.
May you have the vigor, spirit, energy of a young man or a young woman, or a horse or a dragon.
All right.
May you live long and healthy life. May you be blessed with blessings, peace, and success. So things like that, it can actually come in English. I've trained myself to do it in English because my Mandarin can kind of a jam when I say it. So I also memorize a few Mandarin ones, a few Cantonese, a few Hakka, because I got a few Hakka friends. So it's actually good to learn because it actually makes you very rich in your wishing positive things for people.
Wow, I'm so happy you actually didn't wish them, 恭喜发财, make money. I don't like that phrase, and I really don't like that phrase because I be sorry, it's about money, materialism. But I love your words, bloom like 100 flowers in bloom, strong live to 100 years. That's good for me, man. I'm 76, Give me another 24 years, I'm okay, 100 years old. So I really thank you very much. Your sayings are very good. So I hope you got it from Google, is it?
Yeah, no, actually I Google it, yes. I learned it.
So all the participants, especially the English educated ones, don't give up. Go to Google and get the Chinese good saying and surprise our parents.
Yes.
So that's fantastic. Dr. Professor C, thank you so much. I must say you look beautiful, Professor. with your beautiful jade pendant and looks like a kabaya that you're wearing, although I cannot see it.
Kabaya Chongsam.
Yeah, so thank you, very good. So, there's nothing about aging. You continue to dress well and red, etc. Even you're 85 years. So the olden thinking about, after 50 must wear blue and black and gray. No. Anyway, I'm going beyond the point. So thank you. I wish you a wonderful, wonderful new year. May you have peace and prosperity. May 1 million blossoms bloom for you, Prof. And we hope to see you again next year. Yeah.
Thank you
so
very much.
Thank you. Ampun Tuanku. Tuanku, Pati hope Tuanku enjoyed the first session all about Ang Pao. And the second session is the Chinese reunion dinner. This is the one day that every single parents and grandparents hope and wish that the children will come back. Participants, in 2018, in the year of the horse, it was reported that China recorded 1.3 billion travels during that New Year's just to go home for Chinese New Year. Beijing railway station records hundreds of thousands of passengers every day. That is Chinese reunion, for the big Chinese reunion dinner. But why is it so important? And are there do's and don'ts too? And what are the food we should eat? What are the food we should not eat? So I have with me today Assistant Professor Dr. Wu Ming Tu from the Faculty of Creative Industries, Utah, to tell us more about Chinese New Year reunion dinner. Professor Dr. Wu.
Ambuan Denggu, and thank you, Dr. Dr. Ng Yan, for the introduction. And I would also like to thank you, Yayasan Denggu Fauzia and University Tengku Abdul Rahman to co-organize this webinar and invited me to be one of the speakers. In this section, I would like to introduce, to share how the Chinese New Year Eve, how people are happily eating. Okay, so I will go along with what I prepared for the slices. Most of my slices, I have taken it from the internet. On Chinese New Year Eve reunion dinner is the most important feast actually for the Chinese. And it is the occasion of reunion the whole family members, no matter how far away they are away from home. The whole family eating the delicious, well-prepared dishes, and the joyful moment for the family, for the elders and the youngest one in the family. Also, I would like to share a little bit of during this joyful occasion, how the women of the family, how much they play in the duty of as a mother, as a daughter-in-law, and their role in this occasion. Firstly, I would like to go along with my slices. Yeah. I'm sorry, a little bit mixed up with the slices. This is the the festival begin with the to the prayer to the ancestor. This is the moment inviting the ancestor to join this occasion. They normally put a table and place place some food, fruits, flowers, and even joysticks and some paper money. After the prayer, the prayers normally starting from the elders of the family, then they will burn the paper money. In the picture of, okay, if you see at the left corner, left down corner, you will see there's a kind of a metal tongue. It is where they burn the paper money to the ancestors. Okay, next, please. Okay, this one. Now, the folk believes this practice that the spirit of the ancestor will look after and bless the family. So they're offering food to the heavens and the ancestors. You see the pictures, these are the auspicious fruits. Normally, the Chinese believe there are certain fruits is good for prayer, for to offer to the ancestor, like the mandarin, apple, pineapple, banana, and so on. Yeah. Okay, next, please. Next slide, please. Okay. This is the picture that I use it because there are so many food placed on the dinner table. Yeah, all kinds. So I think they are all very obvious. Now, following that, I will go along a little bit with the food. Normally, food served on the table, they have certain meanings. Like a fish is a must-have. It is a surplus of prosperity. Now, the cooking from the kitchen of a different family can come up different varieties. Look at the food, the fish they prepare can be all kinds of way of cooking it. Can be steamed, can be fried, can be whatever. Even in Malaysia, we can have asam fish, we can have curry fish, and so on. Then we look at the chicken. Chicken in Chinese meaning that togetherness. Yeah, all kinds of way like Hainan chicken, the clay pot chicken, the very spicy deep fried chicken, and even curry chicken. Yeah. From it is laughter, happiness. Yeah, we can look at the way of cooking it. Asam prawn, deep fried, sweet and sour, steam, and so on. Then come with the vegetable. Chinese are very fond of black mushroom. So it's very commonly served on the table. And also the fried lotus root. And if you look at the right-hand corner, the top one, the black one is for Cantonese belief it is a fa cai. The name of the this special vegetable is fa cai. Fa cai means in Chinese belief it is a fa, to be prosperous. So all these dishes carry the meaning of good fortune. Nowadays, preparing so many dishes, there's another easier way, is a steamboat. Yeah, the housewife needed to prepare only the raw materials. Even raw material is also a big job. Yeah, and everybody eating it and put in continuously the various food like meat, like vegetable, tofu, the fish ball, and so on. Yes, very fabulous. The Chinese in Malaysia, sorry, They can come from origin from very different places. This is the dish for calling pun chai. It is meaning harmony and cooperation. This is a typical Hakka food. Yeah, put all the 8 kinds of delicious food, all like from the meat to the fish, the seafood, and the scallop, oyster, and many others. Yeah. And the northern part of China, basically they eat dumpling, Chinese dumpling, 饺子. It means good fortune. The shape of the 饺子 turn out like something treasure. Yeah. And it can be also differently. Another one is tangyuan. It is a rice balls, and it goes to the family. Normally, family member on the before the dinner, they will do this. The whole family get together if they can to do the dumpling. Actually, nowadays it's very easy. Buy the flour and mix with water, and everybody roll it. Then cook with ginger and pandan leaves to be the soup. Another one is 8 treasures, 8 varieties. They are all simple good. There are so many types. I found this so many nice pictures from the internet, so I attached to it. And this is Nyonya Gui. Nyonya is also Chinese. They came to Malaysia, Peninsula Malaya. They can come out to at least 6-7 generations. They use a lot of local products like coconut milk. Yeah, come out with these delicious cookies for dessert. And this is another one. The one in the center, I think I can only find it in the Pasar Malam. This is a very much eat it during Chinese New Year, especially when you greet the older generation for ang bao. This is the one we eat it, but not really very much commonly in Malaysia. Yeah. The fruits actually during this festival, the mandarin, the pineapple, and the other one, I don't think Malaysia has this, but anyway, it's from Middle East. Yeah, meaning so many seeds, meaning there is with all the children, the younger generation, and so on. This is actually my last PowerPoint. The preparing the reunion dinner, actually women of the family playing a very important role, like mother-in-law, daughter-in-law, even daughters. Yeah, they are preparing in the kitchen for days, preparing so many dishes. Happily, they talk, chit-chat, and cooking and learning from each other. Mother-in-law will teach the daughter-in-law how this is prepared. The last one that I want to mention a bit about it. For Chinese custom, during end of the year, to pass on the old year to the new year, in the legend, it says there is if you look at the left down corner, there is a sui, calling is kind of a monster. They will come to frighten or even eat up the children. So the elders normally give money to the younger ones. We call it Ya Sui Qian. To make the children put it under the pillow. They don't take it away until end of the festival. So the young children will sleep over it and believe that it will protect and strengthen the power of against the sui. They may come to approach them and harm them. But when come to the next day, New Year Day, the first day, first thing, of course, dress nicely, go to bless the older generation, and which is very commonly practiced as a 新年ang bao, New Year ang bao. Okay, this is what I prepared. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Professor. I have two questions here, which I actually wanted to ask you myself too. Is it necessary to have a specific number of dishes for reunion dinner? Actually, I wanted to,
Not really, but normally those are fish, chicken, meat, certain vegetables, soup, this and that. Normally, in old days, with all the preserved meat, because there those days no fridge, no modern kind of preparation to keep the meat fresh. A lot of preserved meat, and these are the ones that depending on the family, how many of the big family, the food, and also some of the family may be well off, some may not be so. So the food normally is full of the table, and it will last for the next few days.
thank you. I suppose, Professor, all these New Year traditions and practices actually come from many hundreds of years ago, when people were very poor then, especially in China. So the big feast they can have is only once or twice a year. I remember as a child, I eat chicken once a year. As a child, I eat fish all the time. I'm from Kelantan. And ikan kembung is like $1 for 20, and I eat tofu all the time. That's why I'm so healthy, you see. I'm not a meat eater. But we have chicken once a year because that is luxury. And I think all this actually comes from those days when meat was a luxury. Yeah. And secondly, I think that certain dishes you should like to have on the table is like, as you say, prawns. Prawns in Cantonese is ha, the ha, xiao ha. So that your happy day is every day happy. Correct, Professor?
Yeah.
Xiao ha, right? And the other one is fish, because fish means extra. So you have extra energy, you have extra good luck, no extra bad luck, extra health, etc. So I think fish is quite essential. As I say, chicken is unity, is quite essential, isn't it? And then vegetables is green, everlasting, lots of nice colors. So I think that you have to have all these. And pineapple is online, wow, good luck come. So you want to have pineapple. That's how I think. And then I can understand why must you have banana?
Well, banana is sweet and very nutritious.
Oh, I
and
see.
it is not really that expensive.
So it's not related to the name banana. Gongjiu, okay, right. I tell you a joke, everybody, since you're on such a serious subject. I am not Cantonese speaking. I went to Hong Kong to visit my daughter-in-law. I went to market. So I asked, can I buy gongjiu? He said, you, what? You mean gongjiu got mother banana, man? You know what I mean? Because gongjiu is male banana. So they look at me and say, what? Then my gongjiu, man? Yang what? Mother banana. I said, oh God, I made a mistake. So that's a word, because Chinese attach a lot of meaning to words, like pineapple is online, So I now understand pomegranate. I was wondering, why must I eat pomegranate? It's the seeds. So there are lots and lots of grandchildren. No need nowadays, we scared already. Okay, with all the family planning, I think that one is a bit redundant. So next question is, same thing I want to ask. Do we need to use new cutleries for every New Year reunion dinner?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
It will be after year, then it will be too many.
So it is
But
not.
certain family, yes.
Is it? Why?
Well, something new.
So
that
they give away
have a
the
change.
old. Okay. Yeah, I rather not buy too much things in the house. So the other question is, we will cook a lot of food so that we have surplus, that we have abundance. Is that right? You must have extra. You cannot eat the last rice, right?
Yeah, you cannot finish up all
Oh,
the
I
dishes.
see. Okay, so that wastage. Okay, understood. So yes, correct. For the question, the person asked a question. The speaker said, yes, you must cook a lot of food and you must surplus on the food. Yeah. So this is all about the Chinese New Year dinner, and we must always extra essential items we must have. And I know what, my Malay friend will always send me ayam pecik. See,
What's that?
is it mountain? Oh, okay. This is a special coconut chicken from Kelantan. It's like ayam pecik. So she will always give me ayam pencit. I feel very happy, because my Malay friend gives me, and it's just so Malaysian that I have ayam pencit for my reunion dinner. Isn't it wonderful, Malaysia? Nobody can get ayam pencit anywhere in the world, not even in China at all, not even Hong Kong, except in Malaysia. So, ladies and gentlemen, participants, Chinese New Year dinner is when? It's Saturday night. That means Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The 5 more days. My children are all flying home. Although unfortunately, my youngest son and his family will arrive at 7:30 p.m. I hope there's no hiccup on the airport. Otherwise, he cannot join us for Chinese New Year dinner. But we all look forward to the one dinner of the year, where we normally don't invite friends. Normally, because the family is too big. Yeah, right? Normally, you don't invite friends. Very, very close-knit for families. Last part. You have time? Last part. It's interesting that when you talk about Chinese reunion dinner, it's the sons and daughter-in-laws that go back to the son's family. This is very Chinese. The gender aspect is so Chinese. I am married to my husband for 50 years. As long as my parents-in-law were alive, I have never, ever gone back to Kelantan, my family, for a Chinese reunion dinner. It's always with my in-laws. My mother gets very upset with me. Oh, you talk about gender equality, gender empowerment. You cannot even come back for Chinese New Year. But to me, as a daughter-in-law, I must practice traditions and culture and values. If I'm married into the family, that's my duty. But on the second day, that is a very important day of Chinese New Year, the open year, I will drive back all the way from Kuala Lumpur to Kota Baru, because daughters go home to the families on the second day with the children and all to spend with their families. So I think these are things that we cannot change. Neither do I think we should change it based on gender empowerment, etc. I may get a lot of bashings from the women, I don't know, but this is what it is, right? Right? The reunion dinner is daughter-in-law and their sons.
Yeah, nowadays, we do for even the daughter marry out, so-called, but we go home to the mother's family, to mother's house, every now and then, if possible. So
Yeah.
sometimes, due to family matters, that the daughter-in-law will need to stay at home to welcome the marry out of the family daughter to come back home. But it's
No.
very
Sorry,
much.
Professor, I think you misunderstood me. I'm talking specifically of the Chinese New Year's Eve dinner, right? Specifically for during Chinese New Year, the Chinese New Year's Eve dinner is that the daughter-in-laws will follow the husbands to go back to the husband's family to do the Chinese New Year dinner. Am I right?
Well, those days,
We're not talking about those days. We're always talking about tradition. We cannot talk about now. Now things change. So we are not talking about now. We are talking the source, the origin of Chinese New Year. And then I understand why you said. You said because you have to ancestor worship. And the daughter-in-law is supposed to do all the things. I don't know much of ancestor worship because I'm a Christian. So our ancestor worship is more respect for our parents. I have flowers for my parents and my parent-in-laws every day from my garden. Every day I will change flowers for them. That's how I celebrate. So that's not very much like Chinese character, but because I've become a Christian. So anyway, next question. Can you elaborate on Yisang, the quantity of food? Oh yes, it's coming. It is going to come. I'm sure the speakers will speak all about Yisang, yeah? So be patient, my dear. Are we having anybody talking about Yisang? Please prepare the Yisang. Here is quantity of the food, the color, the sauce, etc. Okay, we will definitely give you that details. So thank you, Professor, for giving us, Doctor, is it finished? Right. So you want to talk about the Yisang?
Eason, I think I better leave it to the New Year celebration.
Okay.
Here, I can add on a little bit points just now you mentioned. Like, for example, when we were young, the economics, not like nowadays, so prosperous. Hardly eating chicken. Yeah. So only the certain festivals, like worship the ancestor. After that, we eat the chicken
Yes.
and the big fish and the other delicious food. That's all what happened because the technology, actually the progress, the advance of technology very much heading on to help the human survival, humans are living situation. So even in the class, I always ask students, when you were in kindergarten or in the primary school, how your family celebrate your birthday? They said, my parents even forgot my birthday. Some says, well, I asked my husband, how did your family celebrate your birthday? He said, my mother early morning will cook 2 eggs with sugar, and I will just eat that. But whereas I asked my children, my students, how's your celebrating, or your niece, nephew, or your younger brothers, sisters? I said, oh, they will be eating Kentucky, McDonald's, even having the celebration over there. They have all the playground and fun things to go on. So that is the change of the society.
Yeah, I think this is we cannot escape the wheels of development. I wouldn't say it's progress, but it's just inevitable. However, the egg part, I think till today, most families have practiced it. I still get eggs, red eggs, and all birthday parties you go, it will be, doesn't matter, yeah, whatever, but the eggs will be there. And I have a comment here. Yes, I'm a daughter-in-law. I follow my husband back to his hometown every Chinese New Year. Yeah, I think you and I belong to the very traditional daughter-in-laws, and I have no regrets for that, because I think the least I can do for my husband is at least, the least I can do is that part of respect to his parents, I must do. I mean, as I told you, March against, I used to struggle with mother. Why you cannot come back? You cannot do alternate years, man? Cannot, mom. Cannot. Because I must do what I always say, that we have to be good daughter-in-laws. So, Chinese New Year, is there any dresses you wear? I see some people just wear jeans and, t-shirt. Is there any dress code? I like people to dress properly for Chinese New Year, but I don't see people in t-shirts and jeans. What is your comment?
Well, it's always good that for well-off family nowadays, whenever they feel like go shopping, feel like to buy the new dress, there's no issue. But those days, it becomes the tradition in a way that during New Year, you will wear something new. Those days, people make new dress for New Year.
That means Chinese New Year's Eve, because I get new pajamas every New Year. My mother was sew, and I get 3 new dresses. So I wear on the first day. We don't wear on the New Year's Eve. So I want to find out from you is, can you just wear anything on New Year's Eve? It's not that important, or do you also wear something very nice Chinese New Year's Eve?
To my understanding, that New Year Eve reunion dinner, not very particular of you are wearing the new costume, new dress. It is more particular in the New Year day, the first day of the New Year. It is more important. Wear new dress and with happy mood, everybody greeting everybody.
No blacks, no whites.
Yeah,
no blacks, no whites.
There is the Chinese belief that practice during festivals, good occasion, red is always the color. And nowadays adding on the gold color, but black or white is for certain unhappy occasion. So you don't wear that. If you wear this, I remember a few years back, it was a fashion for young men, young ones, teenagers. They wear black. It seems a fashion, but it doesn't last because it's criticized in the public, and I'm sure by the family members. So it won't last.
Good tradition stays, and why not? Right? A tradition is all part of your identity. Tradition is what bonds us together. And we look forward to that particular period. Can you imagine our life with no Christmas, no Chinese New Year? It's quite boring, isn't it? So Malaysia is such a happy, celebrating country. So thank you so much for doing so much homework. By the way, I've got one here. I forgot to tell you, Dr. Wu, from maybe your friend of yours. Dr. Wu, all those food images. Can't wait to have a great meal at Chinese New Year. Thank you so much for yummy, delicious sharing.
Oh, I'm glad.
Thank you. Thank you for the questions. We appreciate that. The speakers appreciate those questions. And I hope you have taken some things back. And by the way, last point. In Malaysia, only Malaysia you get Nyonya delicacies. You don't get Nyonya delicacies other than Southern Thailand. There are only 3 places where Nyonya has. Phuket, Singapore, Malacca. Nyonya is Penang.
Penang as well.
Yeah.
Actually, for Kelantan also, Kelantan, even though it is not really the first parking for those Southeast Chinese coming to Peninsula, they landed in Malacca.
I'm from
or Penang.
Kelantan, Doctor.
Yeah.
I'm very Kelantanese. Our longest generation in Kelantan is 7 generations.
Yes.
Okay? And they come to the river because they travel down south. The first river they meet is Kelantan River. So if you go to Kelantan next time, you go right into the villages, right there are families who have no idea what Chinese is. They cannot speak a word of Mandarin, but your house is so Chinese. Couplets, the ancestor hall, even the building. One day I bring you. So actually the first stop for the Chinese coming into, as you said, to Malaysia, Kelantan, 7 generations.
Yeah, I was suppose you are Yongyang.
I'm not Nyonya. But you're from Taiwan, right?
Yes.
Now I understand where you, not very clear about where we are. Nyonya is where they practice mixture of Malay and Chinese culture. I'm very, very non-Nyonya because my parents are from China. So I have a very, very not, I wouldn't say pure lah, but completely Chinese. My mother's from China, North Beijing. So I actually eat jiaozi every time. I didn't talk about jiaozi. Jiaozi, dumpling, the traditional way is to put a coin in the jiaozi. The lucky one will get the jiaozi, the coin. And secondly, the jiaozi, some have peanuts. So those that eat the peanuts, paiti sang jaya, peanut na, pasang ma, paiti have children. So these are little things lah. Yeah.
But sorry, just now I thought you are the 7th generation.
I'm saying Malay, Kelantan, the oldest is 7 generation. Yeah. My parents came from Beijing and Shanghai.
Yeah,
Okay.
actually, Kelantan Chinese is very different from the rest of the area in Peninsula. Yeah, there's still many of them do not really practice Chinese.
Sorry, Papa, I don't have much time. I must sorry. In the past, not everyone, unfortunately, had the luxury of new clothes for Chinese New Year. These days, many go for comfort dressing, right? So Chinese New Year are worn few times a year. So many opt not to spend money on it. I agree. Yeah, but one new one for Chinese New Year, okay lah. One new one, no need 3 or 4. I agree totally. Yeah. Now comfort is more important. Yeah. Then
Comfort and fashion.
Yeah. So, and this is a wonderful one. Ampun tuanku, terima kasih kepada penganjur dan penceramah-penceramah perkongsian adat resam perayaan. Ianya dapat mengeratkan talian persahabatan antara kamu supaya hidup harmoni dan muhibah. Terima kasih banyak, kita memang bersetuju dan komen seperti ini memang menggalakkan kita lagi cuba mengkongsikan adat-adat resam kita yang bagus dan kita harap macam open house. Kita harap lebih lagi ramai sahabat semua datang kita bersama. Thank you very much, Professor. Yeah.
Ampun tunggu. Thank you. Tan Sri Dr.
Yes, thank you. 谢谢.
Thank you.
谢谢.
And also very nice meeting you
Yeah,
today.
thank you. Okay. Thank you. Ampun tuanku. We are now going to our third session, and I'm so happy that we have got feedbacks, questions. Terima kasih banyak lah. Your comments are very encouraging to us. So the next topic is also very important: food. Nian Gao, the New Year cake. I'm also wondering how my speaker will give us a 15 minutes talk on the Nian Gao. She must have a lot to say, man. So the speaker is Professor Dr. Lim Yang Mui. By the way, great respect for her. She is a scientist in the medical faculty in Utah, and her latest research is genetic studies and its relation to traditional medicine. Oh, that's really good. Plants also have genes. Don't forget that. Yeah. So she's onto that. And also she was the founding secretary of the Women in Science of Malaysia, and now is a chairman for that organization. And yet she's with us to talk about a very non-scientific thing, sweet sticky rice cake. So, Professor Dr. Lim, the floor is yours.
Pun Tuanku. Thank you so much, Tan Sri Dr. Ng Yen Yen, for your kind introductions. And indeed, I'm actually very excited and waiting for this moment to meet you in physical first time. You know, in those days, I could only see you through televisions. And the second thing, I'm amazed by Tan Sri when you share with us your age, 76. I can't believe it. You look much younger than that.
You'll be the same when you come to the age. We shall not have 50 years.
Thank you so much. So, Tan Sri, let us continue our talk on Nian Gao. Try my best. I try my best to share whatever that I know about Nian Gao. All right. So, dear audience, a very good afternoon. And now we discuss about Nian Gao. You know, Nian Gao also known as year cake, New Year cake, or Chinese New Year cakes, or rice cake. Bahasa is kuih bako.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Tan Sri, for that. All right, so that is Nian Gao for us, and you can see the picture on the right side. So that is the Nian Gao, how it looks like, commonly found in the market nowadays. Let's move on, Tan Sri. Let us look at the history about this Nian Gao. It is actually dated back to the northern and also southern dynasty, yeah, which is 386 to 589 AD. It's actually reported in a very old recipe books, Shi Chi, yeah. It is known as glutinous rice dish. Yeah. All right. So I'm sorry.
So that's 1,500 years ago.
Yes.
1,500 years ago. Wow.
Quite a long time, that's true. So now we get to know what is Nian Gao, when it started. Yeah, very good. So let's move on. Now we look at the meaning of Nian Gao. Yeah, the significance of having Nian Gao. Look at here. Look at the Chinese word Nian Gao. It's actually referring to sticky cake. And if you follow the pronunciation, Nian will become Nian, which is year. And Gao will still remain Gao. And we literally translate
That
it.
was tall, every year taller.
Yeah, taller. We literally translate to Gao, yeah, Nian Gao, meaning is grow every year. Gao means taller, higher. So this is the implication of when we eat Nian Gao, we will become more prosperous next year. We grow better. We get promotions every year. So that is the symbolic of having Nian Gao, yeah, and it is a very needed, popular gift during Nian Gao. We have to have it as a gift when we visit to our relatives and also a family. You can see on the right, the character, Chinese character, the Fu, we have to put on top of the Nian Gao, so it is actually a sign of prosperity. So it's a good word and a good symbolic that we visit our friends, we bring this item.
Yeah.
I still remember when I was young, my grandma has to, ask me together with my mom to make this nian gao. So I remember all this.
Is it easy to make?
The step is straightforward, but it's very, very difficult. You have to follow the step strictly. We'll come to it later on. All right. So, Tan Sri, let us move on.
Sure.
There is a significance. But then, like Tan Sri, what's the function of having nian gao?
Yeah.
What's the function about it? Let's
Yeah.
look at this.
Oh,
So I'm going to introduce to the audience here two characters, which is a kitchen god. Yeah. In Chinese, so we say Zhao Jun or Zhao Shen.
yeah,
Then we have another one character called Jade Emperor, which is Yu Wang.
right.
So commonly, yeah, in Chinese culture, we know as Tian Gong. I think everybody, pray to Tian Gong. Yeah.
Right.
So the function of have this sticky cake, nian gao, it is actually to stuck the mouth of this kitchen god, which is this one, the kitchen god, which is a Zhao Jun, so that he will not report the bad things to this Jade Emperor.
More corruption, more bribery.
Yes, and you can look at the picture on the right. The nian gao, nian is sticky, so stuck the mouth so that he cannot report the bad things. You see,
Okay.
so that is two characters here: the kitchen god and also the Jade Emperor. And who are these two? Let us understand further. Yeah, Tan Sri, look at it. So the role of a kitchen god. This kitchen god is actually protect the family in a way, yeah, protect them. And it actually taking care of the kitchen where, we're having prepare our meal, things like that is on fire, cooking area. So everybody will place this god at the kitchen and they will make the prayer for him so that he can actually bring good news to the Jade Emperor, and Jade Emperor will give good things to the family. Yeah, so this is the thing that, you can see all these Chinese, they have this god place in the kitchen. Yeah. And it is also believed on the 23rd day of 12th lunar months, yeah, before Chinese New Year, this kitchen god, he will return to heaven and report to this Jade Emperor about all this doing activity in that particular household. So if you're doing bad things, they will report back, to the Jade Emperor. And depend on the reports, Jade Emperor will whether give rewards to the family or punishment. So I believe, I recall my grandma said, must do good things, practicing good things. Otherwise, you get punishment from the Tian Gong.
That's why the Chinese, you never allow a guest to go hungry. Isn't it?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Anybody
correct.
comes to the house, the table is always open.
Yes.
Yeah,
yeah.
I see. Yeah.
So that is the role of this kitchen god and also the Jade Emperor. Yeah, and Jade Emperor is assistant to the Yan Shi Tian Zun, which is the first pure god.
A pure God. Lah.
The very first pure god is the one that created the earth and the heaven.
How many gods are there?
There are three pure gods, but this is one of it.
I mean, I don't know much about it.
Yeah,
Okay.
so now I understand why my grandma said you must buy Tian Gong, you must pray to Tian Gong and also the kitchen god, things like that.
So you make sure that the nian gao is there on the 23rd day.
Yes, yes, yes.
Not after that, yeah?
No,
Oh,
must be
okay.
there so they stuck the mouth. All right, that's really, let's move on.
Yes.
So these are the ingredients to make nian gao. Very simple: glutinous rice, sugar, and water. Yeah, but as I told you just now, the process of making nian gao is straightforward, the steps, but it's very tedious. You know why? I still believe my grandma said we prepare everything in the kitchen. The rest of people cannot come to the kitchen.
Oh,
Myself, my mom, and my grandmother. So my grandmother will instruct, my mom will assist, and I will take care of the flame, the fire, setting up the fire. Cannot be too strong, cannot be too weak as well, the flame. And the duration of the time must 45 minutes or 30 minutes. I must time exactly.
Oh.
And I'm not allowed to talk. That is a belief, you see, because otherwise, when the sticky rice, once finished, right? If they say it does not have a smooth surface,
yeah.
that gone.
Oh,
The effort gone, you see. So we have to make a lot of nian gao for my family
yeah.
because my grandma family, she has four siblings. Sorry, four siblings, which is my elder uncle, my elder auntie, my father, and my younger uncle. So my elder auntie has 12 kids. My elder auntie is 12 kids as
Wow.
well.
Productive.
My father is 10, whereas
and my uncle is 5. So we have to make a lot of nian gao. So that's our job.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now, Tan Sri, I would like to share the video, so, the steps of making nian gao. And the step must be followed exactly. Yeah. Dear audience, let us look at watch these video clips on making nian gao. And remember, I make this as well. That have passion and heart. Slow. It has to be it's not you right. Yeah. This is one that my grandmother would do. She's an expert. Yeah. Yes, but in different but in Chinese, I do believe that they will have, yeah. No, this is sugar, caramel. Yes, as you mentioned, art. So you have to learn through observation. Not but observe. She taught us. Google it. Yeah. But if you do not do it nicely, you'll get maybe in those days, my grandma taught us to put later. Those days we don't have now. It's it's for Chinese. And my grandma will approve. No, so far. I mean, during my grandma time, but after my grandmother passed away, then we have trouble. Okay. All right, so let's move on. Okay, so like what Tan Sri asked, so there are how many types and form out there? So the common one is this one that we see, mostly in Malaysia, but some other places in Malaysia, they actually appear in this kind of form. For example, like this one, they add pandan flavor into it, and this one they add the yam flour into it to making the sticky rice, sticky cake. Yeah, all right. So we move on. So the types and ways of preparation in China, it actually based on the province. For example, like we have Guangdong and Cantonese cuisine and Fujian or Hokkien cuisine. And this is the one that majority Malaysian population will follow because we actually migrate from that area. And we also do have Jiangnan and Shanghainese cuisines and also northern cuisine, which is Beijing. So this one is Shanghai, the northern part. This is a savory kind of nian gao. It's in white color and in this form. Whereas this is the commonly we can see one. And it actually dip in egg and also we can pan fry. Yeah. All right. And not only nian gao can be found in China, in Malaysia, we also do have, nian gao called tikka in Burmese, Peranakan cuisine, kuih bakul, and Nyong Yao Baba, that is the traditions. And Cambodia, the known as Buddha cakes, Philippines, Ti Kueh, it follow the Hokkien pronunciations. In Indonesia, we have Chinese dodo and so on and so forth. These are the countries that have nian gao for their celebrations.
Right.
All right, so let's move on.
Mauritian too, huh?
Yes, yes.
Get your sorry.
I think that is a way of call it, the pronunciation for nian gao. Right, so this is the nian gao that we see commonly, we can buy anywhere in the morning market, things like that. Yeah, so this is like, I think localized already in Malaysian kind of appearance. We see this nian gao, fried nian gao like this, or we can actually sandwich it with sweet potato, yam and things like that. And this is the one is we steam it and then we eat with coconut hash.
Yes.
So this is how we eat in the Malaysian way. And that's all of my sharing.
Thank you very much. All of us have class in how to do a nian gao. Now go back and try and see whether it turns white or brown or gold.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to ask you an interesting question. Somebody tells me that when a woman is having her period, she's not supposed to make nian gao. Is that true?
Yes.
I'm a medical doctor, so these are very scientific questions to me. But I'm just curious, is it true? Is there such a thing, such a saying?
Yes.
It's right.
It's not right or true, but it's saying. So my grandmother is very
fussy.
Not fussy.
Proper.
She is believe in Chinese culture very much.
Yeah.
And she follow exactly, strictly. Yes. So she will tell us, if you're having that, don't involve in any preparations.
Yes.
So that is belief in those things.
You can relax a bit. Huh?
But that time is still young. But now today we all commercial, not related anymore.
Yes. So, good. So nian gao is one of the must-have.
Must-have, yes.
And I find that the nian gao that we have goes moldy. How do you can you still eat it when it goes moldy? Or do you just wipe it and steam again?
So to protect that from moldy, we have to put a layer of oil. As I mentioned just now, my grandma taught me.
Yeah.
Put an oil on it, then you
Yeah.
can actually keep for a long time.
Yeah.
And if really got moldy kind of things, then my grandma told me you just remove the top parts and then just carry on.
Okay. Okay. It doesn't sit down.
Mm.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah.
Right. So it looks like a very simple recipe. It's all in the art of making, yeah?
Mhm.
So do we have any questions from the participants? No? Do you like Ninkau?
I'm not really like Ninkau, but I remember when we were young, my grandma would force all siblings to take Ninkau. Must have a piece or a bite.
Oh.
She says that once you have it, then you are having better future and
Ah.
you grow taller. And we just blindly follow and all of us just take
And
it.
when you're tall, what's your height?
I think so. There's
Yeah.
Ninkau make me tall.
Are you 5'6"?
5'5".
That's tall for the Chinese.
Yes,
yeah?
yes.
So I think, hello, young families, you want your children to be tall, start feeding them Ninkau, only Chinese New Year. Yeah. Okay. Okay, does the speaker mind sharing the recipe on this chat? Didn't get to copy earlier. Can I repeat? 500 grams of glutinous rice
Rice and
500 grams of sugar.
yes, correct.
Then you must have to make the caramel.
Yes.
And then how much water to add to the caramel? Just agak-agak.
I think cannot be agak-agak. It must
yeah.
be some a volume of it. I remember.
So do you remember, because the participants would like to get the recipe?
I suppose it's the equal volume of the
can't
gram,
suppose, because
500
otherwise-
mil. And I think the critical part is when you add in water, you must make sure that the flour, when we mix, right, is like a running kind of structure, consistency, the running, not too watery, but not too sticky.
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
That's the trick of it. Mm.
You like me to give her the participant the Google?
Sure, I can share. Maybe we can
You can
get
write down.
yes, the organizer already gotten that. Then we
Yeah.
will share with them. And the video also we can share with them. Mm.
Wow. Later must go to Pasar and buy Ninkau. Make sure you buy the nice brown one. Okay. And okay, good. Good luck to all those who are trying to make Ninkau, and good try. Yeah. So I like Ninkau, but because it's just carbohydrate and sugar, and I want those greedy people who just one piece, I got shocked. So I must eat sampai jelat, So it all goes in my hip. So I'm very scared. And then I still do, but I like it fried. I don't like it with yam. Because for me, it takes away the purity.
Oh,
the
I
taste.
see. Yeah.
But I like it with coconut and salt. The coconut, we add salt.
Yes, that's the one I like. Yeah.
Add
Yeah.
salt. I don't forget to add salt. Other tastes different.
Yes, correct. Yeah. That
And-
is a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. So, So thank you so much, Professor. Another one. Okay. Good. A most illuminating sharing of the origin of Ninkau, indeed, 1,500 years history. Any idea there's any innovation in terms of recipe? Typical of today's modern world. Less sugar, perhaps, flavored Ninkaus. What would you say?
Like what I showed just now in the pictures, we can add other flavor like pandan flavor, other colors like from some of the sweet potato and things like that. You can add into it to make it, a different version of Ninkau. Yeah,
And also I noticed Shanghai one is actually savory.
savory,
So Shanghai actually has no sugar added.
no sugar. Yeah,
So I think the most important aspect of Ninkau is it's sticky, because you want to close out the mouth of the kitchen god. So that's the most important factor, right?
yeah.
Okay.
But if you were to take out the amount of sugar, it doesn't give the origin color and also the taste. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, it may not be so nice, golden and all.
Yes, correct. Yeah,
So they say cooking is really an art.
correct.
And you
Yes,
just have to have that art and
Yeah.
patience.
yes,
So you have daughters?
yes. I have one daughter.
Does she make an Ninkau now?
No, not at all.
Uh,
My failure not to teach her.
So it stops in your generation.
Yes, actually, indeed, stop at my generations. Yeah,
Because we are spoiled by having ABM buy in commercial market.
correct. Yes, yeah.
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 Wonderful. So, see, we all know it's 1,500 years old. So you can go and do a quiz game and ask them how old is Niankao. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
And,
Tan Sri.
Have a good year.
Thank you.
May all your days and that all blessings come to you.
Thank you so much for all the wishes and audience. Thank you so
Yes.
much for your attentions.
Happy
Bye.
making Niankao and happy eating Niankao too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Ampun Tuanku, that's Niankao, Kueh Bakar, and we all love Niankao. Tuanku, we are into our next session, which after the Niankao, which is all about the do's and don'ts of Chinese New Year. It will come in two parts. Tuanku. The first part will be taken up by Fu Mei Li, who's from the Faculty of Creative Industries, Utah. And Fu Mei Li is a very interesting person. She's the only lady, the only speaker I know, other than other. Fu Mei Li, no. Fu Mei Li is not in the Malaysia tradition. Who is speaking first? Me. So the first speaker will be June. Fu Mei Li?
Yes. I'm
Yeah.
Mei.
So Mei Li, she's from the Faculty of Creative Industries, Utah. She's involved in editing of media production, as well as a lecturer in post-production studies. Interesting. Today, mega dollars, megabucks are not made through sciences, unfortunately. It's all through media, filmmaking, video, isn't it?
Yes.
So yeah, very much in demand. So, Fu Mei Li, all yours.
Ampun Tuanku. Thank
Hold on. Whilst we have a lady in red here, I must well introduce her. She's the partner to this, not in crime, but partner in the do's and don'ts. June.
Yes,
June. June is the only speaker I know before this session. And June was involved in creating Malaysia Truly Asia. I was so happy when you did that to me. You met me before. And Malaysia Truly Asia is still the well-known brand in the world. Last time I used to go promoting, when they see me and they know I'm a Minister of Trade, they sing Malaysia Truly Asia to me. So we are very fortunate to have that very strong logo. Thanks to experts and people like you all who carry that through. Of course, they're also involved in Mercury Malaysia. Yes. So today I'm very happy you're involved in Chinese New Year. We all look forward to both of your do's and don'ts. Please.
Okay. Ampun Tuanku. Thank you, Tan Sri, Dr. Ng Yen Yen. Actually, before I start the sharing, the things that I'm going to share with you all today is basically shared to me by my late mother. Okay, though my mother was not really highly educated, but she will ensure that all these traditions, the Chinese customs, be passed down to the next generation. All right. So I will be labeled as a very superstitious, a lot of pantang larang, a lot of pantang things. Even my colleagues always ask me, hey, this one can do it, that one cannot do it. So all these are thanks to my mom. My late mother always tell me this one cannot, that one cannot. Okay. But anyway, not really superstitious, but this is like a traditions, like customs being passed down. Some of the things we can follow, some of the things we can just listen as a story.
All right.
Yeah. So I will start with the first event that the Chinese will actually observe. Okay. For most of us, we always hear, especially Malaysian Chinese, we always hear people say "Dong Dai Guo Nian." Dong Da Guo Nian. Okay, that's the winter solstice. Yes, the winter solstice event. Okay, so on this day, actually, it's very similar to the Chinese New Year reunion. Okay, it's just that the family actually gather together. Okay, first of all, we make offerings to our ancestor and gods, and then we will actually eat the glutinous rice ball, also known as the tang yuan. Okay, now I always remember my mom always tell me, must eat tang yuan. Okay, you eat a tang yuan, you will grow a year older. So when I was younger, I was thinking like, So if I eat more tang yuan, do I grow older faster? You know, I want to grow up faster at that time, you know, knowing as a kid, eventually I don't grow older, but I grow bigger. Okay. So
Around the direction.
wrong. Yeah. I don't grow.
It's okay.
Yeah. So the winter solstice is actually the mark, the starting of our Chinese New Year preparations. Okay. So after the winter
Can you
solstice.
say a bit about winter solstice to some of the backstory may not understand
Okay.
what is winter solstice or what date and why?
Usually winter solstice starts, I think now they already fix it on December 22nd, almost every year. Okay. So I read before what is winter solstice. Okay. To me, I don't really know the true story about it, but there's an article that I read before where they actually said, because winter solstice means they're entering winter.
Oh,
Okay. And then winter time, they actually worry a lot of elderly could not survive the cold in the winter. So they actually will actually make reunion dinner in case,
oh, really?
yeah, in case they cannot
So
go through. It's
Ah,
rather sad, but something that
Oh.
people will make this reunion dinner
Yeah.
earlier.
ah,
Okay. Yeah. So that's the winter solstice.
Yeah.
All right. So now, before Chinese New Year, so after the Tang Yuan, we will start preparing. Now, what we do, okay, my late mother, she would definitely, one thing she would do, she will grow the arrowhead plant.
Oh.
You know, you always eat the arrowhead, the one that they fried, but
Oh.
this one, my mom would plant it first.
Can you
Because,
grow in Malaysia?
yes,
Oh,
any
Australia.
kind of sand would do. My mom would say, see any construction area, get me the, okay, basically not steal, but I usually would throw like 20 cent or 10 cent because this is a Chinese belief. You know, when you get something from the earth, you need to pay it.
Oh, see.
Yeah, so I will do that. Okay, so from young, I will
Learning.
observe where's the construction area, and then I'll tell my mom, okay, there's a sand there. Okay, go collect.
Oh,
Then we will start planting the arrowhead plant.
okay.
Okay, so if the plants don't actually grow nicely, my mom will quickly discard it
Oh,
because it doesn't show a good sign.
okay.
Okay, so if it actually grow very nicely, she will be very happy. She's like happily proud and show people, my neighbor, see my plant, you know. So that is the first thing that my family would do. All right. Then for ladies, for most of our ladies, the shopping begin, right?
Yeah.
The shopping, we start to buy our new clothes and then new shoe. And then for Chinese, it's almost like a mandatory thing. We need to get boxes of Mandarin oranges because Mandarin oranges in Chinese is pronounced as gum. Gum means gold. All right. So if you buy a lot of boxes of Mandarin oranges, that means you are actually buying a lot of gold.
Okay.
Right. And then you can see people preparing to buy a lot of plants as well. Okay. The lime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
And
the
then-
lime?
Because lime in Chinese, we call it kat. Kat
Oh, yeah,
means,
kasturi.
yeah.
Not the lime.
Yeah.
Kasturi.
Limau kasturi. Yeah. So they actually call it as a
Oh,
kat.
good luck.
Yeah, it's a good luck. Okay, 大吉大利, 大吉大利, right? And then some actually they also have chili plants.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, chili plants is actually more to the fortune because chili we pronounce as la jiu.
Uh-huh.
Jiu means jiu choy.
Oh.
Yeah, same goes to the banana as well. Actually, banana they also actually call it as like jiu choy. Okay, and then they like to buy those like, you know, the banana in a full bunch.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and they like to like the whole hand like that, so that is like grabbing all the good fortune. All right, so that's the one of the preparations. Next, okay, and you can actually see the few weeks from for the past few weeks, you can see salons. Actually, a lot of people running to the salon, and then first the price of the salon when you cut your hair will be increasing this week. Probably, I think 10 ringgit increase.
Oh.
Okay, but because also a custom that we always believe, you don't cut hair during Chinese New Year. You cut away your fortune because hair we call it as 头发. Fa means
Okay.
yeah, Chinese love rich. Okay, who doesn't love to be rich, right? So they usually do all their hair and cut their hair way before Chinese New Year. All right, so that's one. And then clear all the debt before Chinese New Year. You can see the banks, even my condo, people are queuing up to pay off their maintenance fees. Yes, to pay off because they don't want to owe anything during the Chinese New Year. All right. And then one more traditions that I did not mention in the slides is to buy new bowl. All right. So yeah, my mom was New Year coming, go and get at least one bowl.
At least one bowl, not
Yeah.
the whole set. Right?
No whole set.
I just
Yeah.
one bowl.
But my mom always prefer 2 bowls, you know, it's like a pair.
Oh.
Where was that? I don't need so much of bowl.
Oh.
Just get one or what is
Why?
because it's called team wound. Team it means the like addition.
Tamba.
Tamba. So but I stopped that tradition already because for the past few years because it's too many one thing. And whenever I bought a new bowl, I have a new baby.
That's really good luck, isn't it?
It's like a
Really
new
good luck.
addition.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
So-
think better have to refer you to the infertility doctor. Now, people spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. Seriously.
Yeah.
Hundreds of baby. You just
Oh, don't quote me. It's just that the belief that my family will pass down. Okay. So, and it happened to me. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So,
So wait, to
Yeah.
all everybody who's listening out there, you are trying for a baby, go and buy a bowl. It's very affordable. Then covers the answer next year, okay?
all right. Okay. And then, we also have these customs where companies, especially those with Chinese bosses,
Yeah.
they will actually start organizing 收工早.
Yeah.
Okay, they are like closing for the Chinese New Year.
Mm.
Okay, but some companies only offer 開工早, that means the opening right after you have a long break and then you come back to work, then you have a dinner for you,
Yeah.
right? So that
It's good.
yeah,
Yeah.
Tan Sri, do you have all this organized for?
But I don't own companies,
Mhm.
so I don't have the Sao Gong, okay?
Yeah. How about
But,
during the ministry time?
No, because by the time holiday already, you know.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
don't, they usually get invited to officiate things. I've never been invited to officiate Sao Gong.
Or
Hai
Hoi Kong?
Yeah, but cut hair, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Let's cut hair. Clear all that, yes.
Yeah.
So I always ask my friend, hey, do I owe you any money? Please tell me, yeah. The last thing I want to know is owe you money because you forget, you know?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
so
yes, yes.
very clear.
Yeah. So the following ones. Sorry.
So clear all your debts, my friends, participants. Go and cut your hair.
Yeah. Some technical problem. Okay. Okay. Now, I think just now Prof. Marie mentioned about the Nian Gao, okay, about the God's kitchen. So usually on the 23rd day in the month of 12, because now we are still stuck in the last year yet. Okay. In the Chinese calendar, we're still on the month of December,
Today is
the
what
12th.
day of the 12th?
I think it's 26th.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're over the kitchen.
Yeah.
Enough.
Yes. So 23rd day is actually the day where we send the God of Kitchen back to heaven, right? So I think I don't need to mention because just now Prof. already mentioned.
Yeah.
So make sure, but you know, actually quite interesting is my family never have God of Kitchen in the kitchen because my mom very pantang. My mom said, don't want to have this because once you have, especially if your house, a lot of argument, a lot of people like to talk loudly, he will report it as something bad. Okay.
So when you don't trust a family to
Yes.
behave,
Yes.
so better not to have a kitchen god here.
Yes. So we don't want like, you know, because my family, we are very loudspeaker. We talk loudly. No, we're Hainanese, but
Hainanese?
yes, we like to, you know, shout, hey, you know, whatever. So my mom said, no,
But this
you
kitchen
guys,
god, is it throughout China, or just South China?
actually, when I try to research on it, they say it's almost every
Chinese.
part of China. Okay, there's a lot of stories behind God of Kitchen, how it started and stuff. So, but my mom was like, no, we don't have that. Better not.
Smart lady.
Yes.
Smart.
So we don't have this practice. That's why. But my mom said, if you ever have this God's Kitchen, make sure you apply plenty of nian gao. The
Yeah.
stickier, the better. Okay, so that
She's a big giver, man.
yeah. All right, so that he won't report anything bad. Okay, so we will get rewards every year, hopefully. Right. Now, on the 28th day, which is coming in another 2 days, okay, this is the
Is
day.
First Friday?
I think it's on the
Yeah,
Thursday. Yeah, the spring cleaning.
Oh, you only
Sai
clean
la
on-
ta.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. This is the day when people actually start cleaning.
Okay, I'm not too late there.
Yeah.
I thought it was too late.
Me too.
Oh, so 28 days. The New Year's Eve is 30th day.
Yes.
Oh, so this Thursday. Oh,
Yeah,
okay, we get
Thurs-
that.
Yeah, so the spring cleaning. So you get rid of all the unwanted things, you know,
Oh,
get rid of all this and start decorating. Okay, with all these auspicious words on the red paper and
where
decorative.
can I get all these good things, good price?
Usually
know?
I will go to Petaling Street.
Last year.
Yes, Petaling Street got a lot of good deals, especially
Ah.
now it's getting closer.
Oh,
You have
I think that's more
50%.
expensive.
No.
Oh,
So
okay.
they actually try to get rid of
Okay.
all the goods, you know,
Very
because
good.
yeah, especially those with rabbits, or else they have to keep for 12 years, right?
I understand.
Yeah. So usually they will actually buy all these decorative things in red color
Yeah.
because I think the earlier we actually talk about ampouts and that's the sui, to get rid of the demon sui, right? Yeah. So it's the same reason because red color is the demons. They're afraid of this red color because it look like fire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. So yeah. Now, before we go into the New Year Eve, I need to mention another event which I did not put on the slides. Okay. Actually, when we celebrate Chinese New Year, okay, it's just the Chinese calendar already in a new January, you know, in the first month of the calendar.
Yeah, for the
Right. Yeah.
Gregorian calendar.
Yes, but for actual Chinese New Year, okay, or we call it as Li Chun, Lap
Li
Chun, okay.
Ah, yes.
So this day is actually where you actually see on all these social media, people was like playing with their eggs, the eggs, you know, like, that they can stand on all these things, you know, gravity and all these things. So actually, these days is actually what we call the arrival of spring. Okay, so that's why they call it Lap Chun. Okay, so on this day, a lot of I think for the past few years, I've seen a lot of people advise if you want to be rich, okay, on this day, you either bank in money or you withdraw money.
Oh, so
Okay.
bank with full, man.
Yes,
Can you transfer?
and
Let me go.
it's also now a lot of modern days. Okay, a lot of people will do that. So they will actually tell you which is the best time. If you are rooster, this is the best time. If you are dragon, you go at this time. Okay, there's one year I actually have to follow every one of my family members. I'll tell them, okay, you go at 9 o'clock in the morning. Make sure you go at this.
After can you write down a brisk on this webinar?
Okay.
What for chicken when you go, for dogs when you go. Okay?
Yeah, because I think this year's the Li Chun is fall on the 4th of February, if not mistaken.
Is it the Li Chun is 28th day of the pre-Chinese New Year?
No.
Oh,
Li
4th
Chun-
day of Chinese New
Yeah,
Year.
it's every year different. So every year you have to check the Chinese
Oh,
calendar.
same.
When is the Li Chun? Because sometimes it falls after the first day. Sometimes it like way after Chinese New Year over. So so that's why you have to actually have a Chinese calendar at home. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So now on the Chinese New Year Eve. Okay, I think reunion dinner, Dr. Wu already mentioned about it. So just to add on to it,
That means traditionally some leftover food will be kept to symbolize.
yes,
So I must tap home lah. If
yes,
I eat out, I must tap home.
yes.
Oh, lucky
Do-
to me.
Yes, usually they
Know
will
that.
keep that for the next day so that
Ah.
you will like have abundance.
Okay.
Okay, my mom, she is very particular on this. She even will keep a little bit of rice, but she will not eat the rice. She will leave it there. Okay, just not a lot. Okay, just a little bit so that it will actually grow moldy. Because moldy means Chinese is called fat mo, fat.
Oh, see.
So another rich, you want to get abundance, okay? So the part there, okay? Even probably when you talk about the nian gao, when it's moldy, my mom happy when she saw that.
Oh, I
Okay.
thought about- oh, okay.
She said, wow, okay, good. That means, you know, we are fat, you know, just for her. Okay. So all these are the symbols, the Chinese will, you know, especially the elderly, they love all these things. All right. Now, reunion after the reunion dinner, you will actually start hearing all these fireworks, firecrackers. You don't have to look at the clock because you know that's already 12 midnight. Because everybody starts, you know, lighting all these firecrackers. Okay, because doing that, they actually scare away all these evil spirits, and then to signal a good and safe, prosperous new year.
So it's reported in 2018,
Mm.
Beijing actually burnt off 1.5 tons of firecrackers.
Wow.
And in China, the government doesn't have public show of fireworks because it pollutes.
Oh, yes, yes. You can imagine the
Wow.
whole China if everyone lighting. You
Already
can't
taken.
see, you know, it's all the smoke. Yeah. So this is one of the things that you can actually anticipate, you know, by I think this Saturday, right? Now, one more thing that we always do during the Chinese New Year Eve. staying up. This is the day where all the children get their license to not sleep. Okay. The longer they stay up, the longer life their parents will be. Okay, this is the believer. This is one part of the filial piety that we talk about. Okay, so children are encouraged to stay up late as possible. So these are the day where the kids have the special order to not sleep. Okay, they will be happy to know this. Yeah. Now, entering the Chinese New Year. So I'm going to talk about the Chinese New Year, what you on the Chinese New Year, especially day one. What you can do, what you cannot do. Okay. Now, do not wake anyone up on the first day of Chinese New Year. Okay. Do not go and, hey, it's time already. Let's prepare to go out. Never do so, because it's believed that once you wake someone up, for the rest of the year, they will be, every time they have to rush things. Yeah. So do not do that. And then wear new clothes. This is a must, okay? And then we, of course, in red color, all right? Now, and we don't buy new shoes during Chinese New Year, because shoes in Chinese, we pronounce as hai. Hai means like sighing. So if you buy that, your whole year will be like, so I would not buy that, but I don't mind buying pants, because pants in Chinese, we call it a fu. Fu means, again, fu qi, and also good luck and also prosperity, all right? Now, do not wash or cut your hair. This is the similar as what we have mentioned earlier. So, but then do not wash your hair. This one, my family, they actually practice, okay? So, on the Chinese New Year Eve, before the clock strike 12 midnight, all my sisters were like, we actually competing who's going to shower first, who's going to wash their hair first, before 12 midnight, because we don't want to wash away our bad, okay, our luck, our good luck. So we must do that before 12, because the next day, the whole day, we have to wait until like another 12 o'clock only we can wash our hair, right? And then avoid breaking stuff, okay, or else will cause misfortune. But we always have something to counter back, because Chinese have a lot of, all these auspicious words. Okay. So if let's say really break something, we will actually say, my family, I love to say that, Lok Dei Hoi Fa Fu Gui Wing Wa. That means full bloom flower for prosperity for all. Okay. We always use that to counter back. Yeah. Fu Gui Wing Wa. Rong Hua. Yeah.
I must remember this.
Yeah. So yeah, last time we were here when you break things, people were like, you break, but we always say, Lok Dei Hoi Fa Fu Gui Wing Wa. It's a good thing, it's a good thing. Purposely break it also, it's okay. All right. Next. This one is good thing for us, especially those who are in charge of all this house cleaning, because you don't sweep floor on the first day of Chinese New Year. Because you don't do any cleaning, because they will actually clean away all your fortunes. So we don't do that. You don't need to mop your floor. You don't need to, sweep your floor. No. Okay. And on the first day of Chinese New Year, usually people will observe vegetarian. Okay. They won't want to kill anything on that day. So some people will like at least observe vegetarian until like 12 in the noon, at least half day. I don't do kill. Okay. But by the way, I'm a vegetarian. So no killing at all. Yes, yes.
Food means no eggs.
No,
garlic.
I think eggs.
Oh,
Yeah. So okay, still no killing lah. Okay. Yeah. So usually Chinese New Year first day, you will see a lot of people actually going to watch vegetarian shops, restaurants, to have their lunch, dinner. All right. And then on this first day also, mind our language. Okay, no mention of death, no mention of all these curse words. So every time you see people, even you are angry, people will not scold. They will say, 恭喜你嘅發財. Like in a way to, when they say that, 你發財, the way they, 冇發財. No, we were like, 恭喜你發財. The way you say it, the tone, that she's angry or he's angry, but we don't say, we won't curse you, I go die or this thing, we won't. All right. And then the red packets already mentioned, no odd amount of money. But good thing is, you give double packs of ang pao for the first year for those married couple. Only the first year you need to give double. Okay, the following year, you can
Yeah,
actually
she
go back
knows
to
this,
one.
man. For the last 50 years, I've been giving double. I say,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I was
Okay.
quite double. Okay.
Usually only the first year. Okay, and then of course,
When you
you-
say double, does it mean the husband and wife give
yes,
or you give double?
no, the husband and wife we will share.
Ah,
That means
yes, that's
one
what-
person will accept two.
Yeah,
lah.
because, yeah, okay, yeah.
All right. So, and then when you visit, please make sure at least bring at least 2 Mandarin orange. Okay. We will not go empty.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So these are some of the things that we usually do, for my family. And of course, it might sound superstitious to some. It's like, why you can't wash your hair so dirty and stuff like that. I mean, it's up to us whether we follow. But
Yeah, I suppose for me, it's just a matter of continuing a tradition.
yes.
It's quite fun. It's just, I mean, you don't have to justify
Yeah.
everything, you know?
Yes.
It doesn't sweep the house the first day. It's really fun.
Yeah.
But if you can, you just follow.
Yes. Yes.
Just don't ask questions, just do it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, sometimes, like before I got married, okay, when my sisters, we sisters, we have to compete to use the toilet because we only have one toilet.
Yeah.
In a way, it's actually fun. It's like, who's going to shower first, that kind of thing. Who is rushing to the toilet first? Who's going to, before the clock strike 12, sometimes the last one that come out is like, see, I managed to
Oh, I see.
on time. Sometimes it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all for my part. And then we'll pass on to Miss Ko to
Thank you
continue.
very much. Yeah. Most enjoyable. And Miss Cole, you take on the part 2.
Sorry, yeah, I'm a bit with my husky voice today. Okay, because I got my asthma attack last weekend, so I'm today a bit sexy, but yeah, shouldn't be any issues. Ampun Tuan Guru. Okay, Tan Sri Dr. Nyen Yen, thank you. Okay, now I'm going to start with Chinese New Year Day 2, because Chinese New Year Day 2 is a very special to me this year. So if everything goes well, finger crossed, I might be getting married this year. So this year is going to be the last year I'm going to get to stay home, once I finish work, I can stay home until the end of Chinese New Year, perhaps. So it's a special for me because next year I'm going to spend my preparation with my, future husband. Then, it's in Simpang Petang. 2 hours. But Chinese New Year, we Malaysia become, cheaper the cars, so everybody are driving nowadays. So we are stuck in the jam.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I do.
yeah. But then in Chinese New Year Day 2, right, normally, if let's say the next year June will be different. I have to stay until my husband's house until day 2 morning. Okay. Once all their daughter come back, then I'll get to go back to Sabah Bernam and spend my Chinese New Year with my mom. Okay. So, but then I cannot just go back empty-handed. So we have to bring even number of gift, because odd number in Chinese considered ominous. So to next year, looking forward, hope everything goes well. Okay. So now Chinese New Year Day 3. Day 3. This is a legend that, people believe God of wrath, God of anger will be roaming around on day 3. So everybody, normally they will stay home. But again, when you think about this, right, everybody stay home. Who is going to go and visit people during Chinese New Year? Like we are encouraged to stay home. Everybody stay home. So where can we get again? Pay mahjong can. You have to make sure it's soundproof. Else it's going to be very, very noisy. Okay. So last time we are advised to stay home, not to go around, mingle around on the road, because the God of anger will be roaming on earth, checking who's the naughty one. Okay. And at night, right? Normally, last time, like my mom asked me to sleep earlier. So according to her, mouse is coming out at night. It's a mouse wedding. Okay. Because all this God, right? They cuti holiday. Okay. In Chinese New Year, only they will be going back to have cuti. No, human got cuti. God also got cuti. Okay. In day 2, they will be coming back And then day 3, they are still looking all the documents. So there's a day at night, all the moms will come out to organize their wedding. So my mom asked me to, remember to keep on new shoes. Maybe that's one of the way they ask me to work, okay? Because according to them, the moms will come and take your shoe and turn it into their trishaw, the wedding flower trishaw. So that's why at night on day 3, everybody so-called we're like grounded at home. But it's a good thing because during Chinese New Year, everybody will be home. That's when we get to spend time with our family normally. Okay. So, okay, moving on. Here they are. Oh, mouse is not out yet. That's why. See, we are talking about mouse wedding and the mouse is not working right now. Okay. 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 So now I'm not trying to skip day 4, day 5. Okay. It's just that the whole Chinese New Year, especially in Malaysia, actually in China, right? Every day they have special occasions. You have to follow all the way until day 15, Cap Gome. But in Malaysia, right, I can see the culture is still there, but then we are paying less attention on what we do every day. Okay. But in day 6, right, we believe there's a day we have to send the ghost of poverty away. Okay. See, we clean our house, everything before the Chinese New Year. Then we don't clean anymore. We also holiday. Okay. Then we have to wait until day 5. Okay. Day 5. But normally nowadays we wait until some family, they wait until day 5. Some family, they wait until day 6. Like my mom. So she wait until day 6. Only she do all the cleaning again. But nowadays we cannot keep all the rubbish inside the house for so many days. So that's why we normally nowadays we start throwing garbage, everything out on day 2. But if we want to follow very traditions, we are encouraged to remove the garbage only on the day 6. Okay, because if you do it before that, it means you are sending away all your lucks. So on day 6, you do the cleaning again. You send away all the poverty, the unwanted stuff. Then you welcome the God of wealth. Okay, but normally on day 6 of Chinese New Year, that's where all the business reopen again, and we have to report back to work again. Okay. After report back to work, then we moving on to day 7. Okay, day 7 we also known as the birthday of humankind. Back to the Chinese mythology, actually human was created by Nuwa, the goddess of one of the gods. Okay, Nuwa, the goddess of Nuwa. Okay, because why did she create human on day 7? Actually, she's created, different animal from day 1 until day 6. Then on day 7, she created humans. Okay, but according to the mythology, later on after day 7, she created the earth and the God of sky. That's why to represent that, we actually encourage people to eat 7 colors of vegetable with raw fishes or jellyfish. So we call it Lo Sang.
Yeah. Are you going to talk about Lo Sang?
Yes, definitely. Okay. I did my Lo Sang 2 days ago. Okay. I cannot wait until day 7 because it's too tasty. Okay. And Lo Sang was originally created by Malaysians. Okay, I get to know sometimes my mom told me it was Cantonese who migrate to Malaysia. Then it's in Seremban. Okay, because all this while, I think back 2,000 years before, we already have these dishes going on. Okay, so because we have 7 color kind of veggies. Then it's a salad for Chinese. So what we do, we use a giant chopstick and we toast the veggies as high as we can. While we are doing that, right, then we will say all these good words. So now, later on, I believe we do have a Lo Sang section. So The colors at first, right?
Because we have a question.
Oh,
We have a question in Yisang. We explain the Yisang, and I promised her that will come next week. So she wants to know how to do a Yisang.
oh, she want to know how to do a yisang. Okay. Actually, like my family, right? We actually not just using the vegetable, we mix it together with the fruits. Like the yellow can be a papaya, you sell it in look like a mihun like that. Okay, then you can mix it with veggie green color, we have different crackers. Cracker represent one also. And what else? Can't remember. I know how to eat only.
So I think, if I'm mistaken, they do have carrots.
Carrots,
orange,
yeah.
And they have pomelo,
Mm.
right? They have ginger.
Ginger.
I don't know why they have ginger. Yeah. Then they have some pickles.
Pickles.
Yeah. Then they have used pears. Pears,
Ah.
right? And then I generally don't like pickles,
Oh.
honestly. And neither do I like to have too much of the crackers.
Oh.
But the crackers means gold, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So basically is the significance of color is good luck. Green is evergreen.
Mm.
Yeah. And then I don't know meaning of white. White, what does it mean? Purity. And then now last time was Yisang salmon.
Mm.
But I'm peculiar. I don't like raw fruit on my Yisang. So I do vegetarian or fruits. Pomegranate.
Ah, yeah.
and mix,
Pomegranate.
And then it's a sauce that's important. So I think sauce got to buy, isn't it?
Sour
Oh,
plum.
sour plum
Mm.
sauce. Any bottle of sour plum sauce. That's all.
I think now they have a lot of grocery stores that actually
Yeah.
sell that. You can
sour plum or
or
Yisang
sell that sauce itself, and then you can
Yisang
actually
sauce.
yes,
Yeah.
you can actually homemade. Now actually there's no specific like you have to have this. It's actually more on your own preference.
Okay.
Okay, because now I think a lot of people starts to fusion their own yisang.
Yes.
Okay, I actually prefer the fruits type rather than the
Yes.
veggie type.
Okay.
Okay, but again, now why vegetables? I think again, Chinese loves all these money, right? So when we say vegetables, it's chai. That means fortune.
Oh, I see.
All right. So yeah. So pass back to Ms. Koh.
Oh, thank you, Miss Fu.
All right.
Okay.
Great.
Okay. Then on the Chinese New Year Day 8 at night, it's more related to the Hokkien people. You can see Hokkien people, they will start to do their preparation. They are going to pray the Jet Emperor at night, 12 at night. You know why they are doing that? According to a legend, Hokkien people was being attacked last time during the war. So what they do, they run all the way to the sugarcane plantations. So happen on the day itself is the Jet Emperor birthday. And after the next day morning, they are all safe. They run out from the sugarcane plantation. From there on, they will worship this day to celebrate, to pray for the Jet Emperor, because the Jet Emperor did keep them safe inside the sugarcane plantations.
Yeah.
After the Pai Tian Gong, we call it Pai Tian Gong, then the most important one for all the singers. Okay, we call it Jap Gome. It is also the Malaysia Chinese Valentine's
You
Day.
throw the orange last Valentine's Day.
I chose so many years.
Oh, okay, that's not bad. At least
Yeah.
I did.
So you found him from the river?
He actually went there with me.
Oh. And after you guys married?
No more.
Okay. In KL, there's a Taman Jaya Park. There's a
Lakeside there.
the lakeside there. Okay. Now, very easy. You need to write your phone number or your Facebook or your Instagram.
Your social media
Social
account.
media.
the tree.
No,
Throw.
and throw into the
Throw it.
river.
So you write on the orange,
Yes.
Yes.
but then it's going to dissolve.
Make
Yeah.
sure you use the permanent marker.
All right.
Waterproof.
Except we don't know because we are over the days of looking for her boyfriend or husband.
Ah,
Actually, there's a place in Klang that's very famous. I'm not sure whether now after pandemic people will still go there. It's actually they call it the 情人桥,
Yeah,
the 情人桥
Oh.
in Klang.
Oh.
Okay, that's the place that I went because usually that time before we are vegetarian, we actually go there for seafood, and then you will see a lot of youngsters gather around that
Oh.
area, and then they will write their contact number, everything, and throw into the sea.
Mm.
And then people starts to, get all these Mandarin oranges and try to call and
It's famous in Penang, right?
Venus in Penang. Okay. So, but nowadays you have to put female or male because you just simply get it from the river. You don't know whether male or female. You are just
Well, it
call,
doesn't matter, does it?
or you want to look
So-
for specific gender.
I'm just being funny myself. I'm just being honest.
Yeah, it doesn't matter actually, just to make friends.
Yeah, make
Yeah,
friends.
make friends. We
Yes,
never
I
know.
said it. She has a brother. Who knows?
Ah,
Just being positive. Yeah,
Good investment.
yeah,
and you invest in all, then you will find the one.
yes.
Yeah, the
It's
good
your-
one will come last.
It's
Yeah,
yours.
that's true. That's true.
Forget it. Your eyes also cannot judge me. Anyways, it's a light session. This advice given to Valentine's Day, okay? Go it, do it anyway.
Besides this Mandarin or Mandarin Orange, right, they will also have all this. We also celebrate because it's the last day of Chinese New Year. So we have Guessing of Lantern Riders, Dragon Dance, Lion Dance, to celebrate because 15 days. We only get to celebrate 15 days of Chinese New Year. Is it enough or not?
No,
No, never enough. Okay. So as we thought, we actually celebrate only 15 days, but for Hakka people, right, they celebrate all the way until day of 20. Again, Nuwa, the Chinese goddess in the Chinese mythology. According to the mythology, the god of water and god of fire, they were fighting. Okay. So the losing one is the god of water. So you're so sad. So he banged on the pillar, and the pillar was the one that support the heaven. Okay, once the pillar collapsed, right, it actually make a hole on the sky.
Yeah.
So it start to rain non-stop, all the fires, So that time, all the human beings are suffering. Okay, then this Noah, he said, okay, I need to do something. So he used 7 color stone. He patched, mending the sky. He patched the hole. And now everybody can live happily ever after. So that's why nowadays, right, for Hakka people, they do fried nengao, they eat mochi, okay? They even throw the nengao onto the sky. It represents, I also mend the sky.
Oh.
Especially in, last time people used to be in plantations. So on these days, right, they pray so the rain won't come so often because plantation, we really have to work based on the weather. Yeah.
So I must say that the Hakkas are a very futuristic community. Even those days, they understand about ozone layer, how they host the ozone layer. I mean, nowadays, climatic change because the ozone layers has holes. So our carbon dioxide goes up and, heat up the thing. So I'm just really amazed that this story is just unbelievably so coincidental. That talking about a hole in the sky and patching it. So you please continue with this tradition, but relate it now to climatic change. This is a very interesting social story. Yeah. And then the Noah is interesting. Again, Noah, I mean, in Christian, I have Noah,
Yeah.
In Christian, I have Noah. And there's flood. And you have flood. So I cannot but think, all these things cannot be coincident, can it be? So could Noah be also Noah? I don't know. Yeah. So anyway, again, through this webinar, we are learning things, new things, and trying to relate it to the present. Yeah. Thank you. So now is what day they throw the Nengao?
Day 20 of Chinese New Year. So day 20 is fall on the
Okay. Right.
10th of February.
First time hearing this. Huh? All right.
Yeah.
So now we have to stay together with Hakka. We celebrate until day 20, no longer day 15. It's a good thing. Now we have 5 more days.
Just don't ask for public holiday.
Yeah, but actually on that day, a lot of Hakka will actually take time off on that particular day because that's supposed to be their rest day to help Nuwa to patch the sky.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Is that all?
Okay, thank you.
There's not much do's and don'ts, right? More do's.
More do's.
Don't wear black, don't wear white, don't buy shoes, don't
Yeah.
cut hair,
Yes.
don't wash hair. right? Give ang paos.
Yes.
And okay, but if you look at all these do's and don'ts, it's very interesting that there's attached to it a lot of logic and social logic in the sense that you're tired, so don't rush to clean your house, just rest, Chore yet you're not supposed to clean your house, just rest lah. Chore some don't go out, just stay at home. I think this is very interesting. All along their traditions, they have some reasons backing it. But I wonder whether there are any other festivals that goes to 20 days other than Chinese New Year or 15 days. None, isn't it? Christmas is up to Boxing Day.
Yeah.
But now Hari Raya Adil Fitri is also like a month.
1 month, right?
Yes.
Yeah, right. So, is there any more to? You're quite happy you've done all this.
Yes.
You continue to do all this.
Yes, we will.
Yes, right. So, just now, wait. Did you say that you practice this and have a baby every year?
No,
Who said that?
You.
No, I mean, you mean additional bowl, is it?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Because I have a question here. I mean, I have a comment here
Okay.
from Crystal to everybody. My mother also add 1 to 2 bowls, spoons and chopsticks yearly. And true enough, sure, our family someone will have a baby.
Oh, then I should
So,
get more.
You should try that.
So
I'll get
I
10
really
bowl.
these tips, okay? But she talks about a spoon, a chopstick,
Yeah.
and a bowl.
The set, a full
Yeah,
set.
so we are learning also from participants.
Yeah.
Right? It's fantastic. Yeah.
Yes.
Now I have another one here to say, yes, indeed, the haircut has gone up. I'm paying, my son normally pays $10. Now I'm paying $17. Okay, brought my son to cut her hair. Usually it's $10, but due to coming CNY and I add inflation, it's gone up to $17. Give lah, Chinese New Year. Happiness, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then another one is from Carmen to looking very festive May. Who is May here?
Me.
Oh, you're a fan. Okay.
It's our colleague.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Another one, he or she also said that hair salon was 100%. I have another very encouraging, what do you call, chat or message from Zainuddin Mustafa to everyone. Ampun tuanku, izinkan patik sembah ucapan perhargaan dan takniah kepada Yayasan Tunku Fauzia, YTF dan UTA Management kerana menganjurkan webinar ini. Ianya dilihat amat berjaya, iaitu sungguh informatif, konklusif dan demonstrasikan perpaduan jitu bangsa Malaysia. Ampun tuanku, Rahayu Tuanku Yuta. Okay, terima kasih sangat banyak-banyak kepada ni yang hantar. Terima kasih sangat dari Zainuddin. Kita pun sangat menghargai feedback seperti ini dan kita harap ada lagi peluang kita berkongsi-kongsi jenis-jenis budaya dengan semua. Kaum Cina tu ada banyak festival lah, seperti Mooncake Festival, Dumpling Festival. Dan memang saja di Malaysia, semua festival Cina sini ada tak? Kadang-kadang di Cina pun tak ada, sini ada. Sebab kita ada berjenis dialek Hokkien, Hakka, Cantonese, Teochew, Hapchew, semua ada. Jadi memang Malaysia sangat-sangat bersyukurlah. Kita ada dalam sebuah negara yang begitu dihargai oleh Tuhan kita, ya. Okay. So far we have got some very good comments, and I have learned a lot from all your speeches. Then okay. Then next one is I took a tourist to Taman Jaya, and he wanted to get a rich girlfriend. Rich, not a girlfriend. I told him to put his email on the pomelo.
Wow.
And throw it in. It caused a stir and everyone clapped. So I'll add, let's wait next year and see what's the result like. Okay. But my advice is rich not important. Nice girl, good value. Who will always bring who always go back to her in-laws for Chinese New Year dinner.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. But good luck anyway. No harm. I mean, this is fate, huh? Who knows? You throw there, you really get a girl and a boy, and that's it. Yeah, you're destined for life. Good or bad, the destined career.
Yeah,
Right.
actually, a few years ago, I read from newspaper, they actually have this event organized. They actually separate, the ladies have to throw orange, the guys will throw bananas. They put their contact number. So like, to answer your question, they actually do that to separate the gender. So if you want to get a boyfriend, you go and scoop the banana. If you want to get a girlfriend, you go and scoop the Mandarin
Interesting,
orange.
creative,
Yes.
now in the creative industry. But it's it will be helpful if you can give us analysis of the results. Lah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those who succeeded, please report. So
Yeah.
we encourage. But it's a very good tourism program, no? June,
Yes.
it's a very good tourism program. Yeah, I think you should look into it and have a big
Proposing.
Chinese Valentine's program.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. So we now have come to almost the second part. But I understand there's another question or comment coming in. If not, I think it's pretty good. And I have one more comment to say that actually, low sang is better to do with fruits and veggies, is healthier. I do agree. I am a bit cautious about eating raw, whatever, because you never know how long the low sang is out there. Right?
Yeah.
So good. I thought they'd be so tiring. My goodness, 11 o'clock to now. Actually, I'm enjoying myself a lot. I'm not running out to sleep. Normally, I take my afternoon nap at 1 o'clock. So it's good. That shows how interesting it is. Yeah. So I hope that it also interests many people out there. Yeah. Do you learn anything new for today's webinar? Do you learn anything new?
Yes.
What new things do you learn?
Actually, the Nian Gao. Okay,
Nian Gao.
because when my late mother's still around, she very times like, teach me how to do Nian Gao. My mom was like, very tedious one, very fun, cannot. You know, so to me, I was like, okay, so forget about it. We just go and buy, but with that, I think it's doable.
Why don't
Yeah.
you try with the special mixer? There's a very expensive Thermomix.
Thermomix.
I'm sure Thermomix can give you a good Nian Gao.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea, but don't ask me the Thermomix I gave away because out of this crazy idea that I want to be a cook, I can cook. I can buy a Thermomix. My friend said, "Are you sure? You're gone? Yeah, are you sure?" Yes, I'm going to. I've not touched it since. So I've decided to give away.
We should know you earlier.
Yeah. So I can make Nian Gao.
Yeah. So anyway, but I think Thermomix, on principle, physics wise, I think it should do okay. Because it makes kaya, ma.
True.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Anybody out there who has a Thermomix, please try and make Nian Gao on the recipe given to you all, and please let us know whether you're successful or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder
Okay.
if can make the Nian Gao into red color.
Oh,
It's
Yeah.
always brown color.
I think you can't because you
Yeah.
need the caramel or sugar. See, I'm talking about
Oh.
science, physics. The caramel is brown orange.
Mm.
You want to add red color, of
Mm.
course. Good luck to you what color it turns out.
All the colorings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do let us know. You never know, we start a fashion.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
We'll try that next year.
Yeah.
Next year.
Yeah.
Now it's too late already. You cannot make.
Good.
Okay,
So, we are good for timing. Thank you very much to these two very charming ladies. To June, good luck to you. May this rabbit year even bring you a little rabbits before the year is out. That means you better get married early.
But
Okay.
Chinese, they'll chase for dragon. Next year, dragon. Chinese normally they'll wave chase for dragon
Chinese are
baby.
quite fussy, yeah.
Yeah,
They don't
dragon
want
baby.
this, they don't want that. Therefore, you see in maternity hospital, breast goes up. Dragon year, baby go up. And then you know what year, baby go down.
Even
Dragon
the
year, zoom up
school
again.
enrollment is an issue.
Yes, you see.
True.
I saw them tell doctor, induce my baby now. Induce my baby now. I don't want it to go across the next 2 days. I just don't want, I want to be dragon baby. It's a great one.
Think twice, dragon.
Think twice. This is Sunny horoscope. Listen to our last speaker. Professor, I think it's destiny that Professor Chia is speaking now last about zodiac for you, because she's going to tell you all about whether she had to be a new babies. Yeah. So thank you very much. Good luck to you too. Okay, and wish you a very good year, a happy year, prosperous year,
Yeah.
and everything good and happy. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Point 1, we are now into our last speaker. we did adjust the program a bit because our first speaker, Professor Dr. Chia, couldn't make it, not because her timing was off, but as usual, she underestimated the power of a traffic jam, the power of Colombo traffic jam. So she couldn't come in time. But I think all ends well. So now the last talk for the day, for this webinar, is all about the 12 zodiacs. Chinese has 12 zodiacs. And what does it mean? And this year is 2023. What lies in store for us? Coming from 2022 and going to 2024. So Professor Dr. Chia is from the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences. And today she's in a beautiful outfit, the most beautiful traditional qipao, which is a shengsam. I cannot wear anymore because the figure has been nice. So she's in qipao and she's having a beautiful batik red shawl. So she's in the perfect attire for today. Welcome.
Thank you, Tan Sri.
Yeah, I hope you're not too exhausted by traffic.
No.
The stage is yours. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Ampun Tuanku. Thank you, Tan Sri Dr. Ng Yen Yen. Thank you to Yayasan Tuanku Fauzia for this initiative and collaboration with Utah. It's wonderful to be here to speak to everyone today and especially to speak to you about the Year of the Rabbit. Chinese New Year is also called the Spring Festival, and it celebrates the end of winter and the starting of spring. So that's why, before we talk about the Year of the Rabbit, many people wonder why is each year assigned to an animal. So this is in the Chinese astrology. You see, there are 12 animal signs, and the first animal is the rat. Okay, if you look at the top right of this circle, you can see the first animal in the Chinese zodiac. So, and next is the ox, and then after that is the tiger, the rabbit, the dragon, snake, horse, and goat. So the goat is sometimes called the sheep. And then there is the monkey, rooster, dog, and last of all, pig. So there are 12 animal signs. These are used also to mark the 4 pillars of destiny. And these 4 pillars, they are actually represented by the year, the month, and the day, and the hour. So in Cantonese, these 4 pillars are called Nin, Yut, Yat, Si. Nin is year, Yut will be month, Yat day, Si the hour. So if you wish to have your astrology read and to have your fortunes told, when you go to a fortune teller, you will need, the fortune teller will ask you, what is the year, month, day, and the hour when you were born. So, but if we only look at one of the pillars, for example, if you say, oh, I was born in the year of the, let's say, dragon, it would be considered, an incomplete astrology reading because we are only looking at one of the 4 pillars. So the year of birth shows only 1/4 of the reading because there are 4 pillars. So you will need to give the Sifu full information. Okay, so you will have to reveal everything, which is the year, the day, the month, and the hour. So, and then the master can predict the person's destiny. So now back to the 12 animal signs. Okay, now why were these 12 animal signs chosen? No one knows for sure, but there are a few legends that explain how these 12 animals end up in the Chinese zodiac. So one of the more popular legends is the Great Race. And this story is about the Jade Emperor who organized the race where the first 12 winners to reach the heavenly gate will have 1 year named after them. But this race is a little challenging because the race route had a river. So for some animals, crossing that river will be a challenge. or just impossible. For example, the rooster won't be able to swim across it or fly across it. The rabbit or rat, they're too small to walk across it or without being drowned or being swept away by the river. But in the end, you know what? The rat was the one who won the race. That's why the rat is the first animal in the Chinese zodiac. Okay, then comes the ox, and then followed by the tiger, the rabbit, dragon, and so on. So this was how the emperor decided the order of which the animal signs would come in the zodiac. Okay, so actually I was wondering why the cheetah didn't win, because it is one of the fastest animals in the world, and surely it would have overtaken the rat. Oh well, so that's using algorithms and scientific data, all right, to challenge the facts. Why the cheetah didn't win? This is job hazard, yeah. But well, this is the legend, so we just enjoy the story, and it makes a very nice story to tell people, entertain children. So I personally think that there are also some moral values behind it, and we just need to see. Okay, now let's see, how did the rat win that race? Okay, now the rat won because it is cunning, clever, and resourceful. The rat realized that it was too small to walk across the river. It didn't know how to swim. So when the rat saw the ox, and the ox was tall and strong just to walk across the river, the rat asked the ox for help. Okay? And the ox was kind, helpful, trusting. Well, so it did not mind letting the rat sit on its back. But when they were almost reaching to the other side of the river, the rat quickly jumped down from the ox's back and ran to the finish line without waiting, without saying thank you. Okay, this is really rude. And in the end, the rat was the first to reach the heavenly gate and won the race. And the ox came in second because it couldn't run as fast. Well, poor ox, well, I don't think it will ever trust the rat again. But what about the other animals? Okay, that is about the ox and the rat who took first and second places. So the other animals, the tiger came in third because it could swim and it was strong. The mythical dragon flew, but it didn't win the race. Well, that was a promising flight, but the legend says that the dragon had stopped by the river when he saw a burning house. And because the dragon could blow air, out. So if you look at the picture, see the dragon was trying to put out the fire, and in the end, this dragon saved the villagers. So, which is why it didn't win the race as well. And so the dragon was selfless because it had put other people's welfare before its own. And then the dragon saw the rabbit was very tired, so hopping on the rocks to cross the river. So the dragon decided to help the rabbit too by blowing the rabbit across to the other side of the river. So the rabbit ended on the riverbank, and so that was how the rabbit came in third finished fourth after the tiger and before the dragon. So the dragon came in fifth, and then so on. The sheep, the monkey, the rooster, they built a raft. You see, because all three, the rooster, the sheep, and the monkey also couldn't swim, and so they worked together, collaborated, and this shows that teamwork is important to achieve success. So then this legend goes on beautifully describing how the other animals ran and finished the race. So this is not the only legend that there is. So the other legend is that, well, this is a shorter one, but this is also being told. So one day the Jade Emperor invited the animals to a party. Then all the 12 animals who went to the party had 1 year dedicated to each of them in the Chinese zodiac. So this is a shorter version of, this is another legend, which is shorter to explain how the 12 animals ended in the zodiac. Now, before we look at the rabbit year, let's look at the year of the water tiger. Okay, there are many challenges that we all went through in 2022. The tiger is a ferocious animal. Feng Shui masters predicted that water tiger in 2022 had a strong masculine or yang energy. Okay, yang will be the opposite of yin. So yang is a masculine energy. So the year, the tiger year was actually like the tiger. Okay, so they predicted fast-moving changes that brought about extreme situations, That means situations are either very good, or very bad. So for example, some industries did very well, other industries slowed down, and some have even had to shut down completely. So you see, all these changes are very extreme. And in general, people also had to make decisions very quickly to adapt to these changes. And these decisions also may not benefit all the stakeholders equally. So some people, they benefit from it, some people may not. And so the year was really full of challenges. So just like the wild tiger, who is brave and strong, but also dangerous. So for example, one of the many changes that we saw in 2022 was a change in government. We all experienced a very historical general election, PRU 15, with results that our country has never seen before. But these days, I think, nothing else should surprise us because COVID-19 hit us with no warning at all. So I think our community is building resilience. Yeah. Also in 2022, Malaysia went through a second year of pandemic, which eventually ended. So many people are still struggling as a result, and everything was also rapidly changing throughout the year of the tiger. The year that was also saw, for example, many natural disasters, and the deadliest being the recent Batang Kali landslide that took 30 lives. And while the year-end monsoon had 70,000 people evacuated from their homes. So, and all these are happening against a backdrop of rising inflation, crashing of cryptocurrencies, depreciating value of the Malaysian ringgit, fluctuating rather, and also the threatening new strains of COVID. So at the back of our minds, many governments and people are also fearing another lockdown if the situation gets worse. But despite all that, the world came together again in high spirits and watched FIFA World Cup. I think the whole world just stopped functioning for that few hours when the final was going on. So this was in December. And also the COVID situation improved. Yeah, Malaysia transitioned from a pandemic to an endemic. The MCO ended. Students went back to school. Businesses reopened. Office workers start traveling back to their offices for work. People return to their hometowns to reunite with their families. Borders reopened for international travels. Families who have, families in Singapore and Malaysia, they can reunite again and see their family members again. So the year of the tiger was indeed an eventful one, full of ups and downs. So the year of the tiger will end in a few days because 22nd January is the first day of the water rabbit year. And people, the year of the sign of a rabbit is a symbol of longevity, peace, prosperity. And people born in the year of the rabbit are said to be vigilant, witty, quick-minded, and ingenious. So now let's see who is born in the rabbit year. On the left, well, who else? The football sensation and World Cup hero, Lionel Messi. He's not the only famous for scoring a lot of goals in his career, but also for the most hat-tricks. That means he scoring 3 goals in one game. And also born in the year of the rabbit is Albert Einstein, who is not only famous as a genius scientist, but also his work in politics, religion. And in our lifetime, we've also seen actress Angelina Jolie, who built her fame in acting, but later made an impact through her humanitarian work. Now let's see who else. Can you guess who else is born in the year of the rabbit? Guess what? Malaysia was born in the year of the rabbit. Malaysia was formed in 1963 with the Malaysia Agreement of Perjanjian Malaysia that was signed between Great Britain, the Federation of Malaya, Singapore, North Borneo, Sabah, and Sarawak. Now, who else? Then there's the Malaysian music icon, Ning Baizura, who was a child star and is popular with her distinct voice and very emotionally moving songs. And so Ning Baizura was also born in a rabbit year. And third is Nur Dabita Sabri, is a Malaysian professional diver known for winning 3 bronze medals in the Commonwealth Games. So in the coming year, Malaysia will be turning 60. Ning Baizura will be 48. and Nur Dabita 24. Okay, so this is in a multiple of 12s because they were born in a rabbit year, and when the rabbit year comes, they would have completed one cycle or two or three. Okay, now, so next we look at now some of the I've consulted some of the feng shui and reports to see, what has the new year got in store for us. So for rabbits, 2023, for those who are born in the year of the rabbit, the upsides are far outweigh the negative. And it's popular practice actually to look at feng shui predictions before the start of the new year. Some people also consult fortune tellers because the new year means that the fortune may change. Although some people are skeptical about these predictions, many people think that there's no harm finding out so that we can be better prepared. So what will it be like for Malaysia and others who are born in the year of the rabbit? In the Maybank research predicts that the year is unusual because there'll be more positives than negatives. And for everyone, it's going to be a year of hope. Well, I think that's good news. And in Feng Shui principles, water actually supports wood. So next is the water rabbit. So wood is seen to be the element that is complementary, and the nature of yin energies is actually feminine. So the year will be gentle, accommodating, and related to the emergence of feminine control. And this is very much different from the masculine and the young tiger year. Feng Shui or Chinese geomancy, there are 5 elements for each cycle of 20 years. Okay, the rabbit year is the last period in, it is the last year in period 8. So period 8 ends in February 2024. All right. So when the rabbit year ends in February 2024, period 9 will start. So period 8, all right, which is a 20-year cycle from 2004 until 2024, it has the earth element, while period 9 has the fire element. So the rabbit year, which is from January this year to February next year, will enter into the, it's a transition, from we're moving into period 9. So the earth element then will slowly diminish and make way for the start of the fire element in period 9. So what does it mean for us? Okay, I consulted Feng Shui Sinsei as well as Maybank Research to come up with this to discuss with you so that we will know how to prepare for period 9 and the rabbit year. So the fire element, which is very feminine, is related to life, related to power and comfort. So Maybank Research states that areas that will be outstanding will be those related to technology, artificial intelligence, transmission and conversion of energies such as renewable, sustainable energy, green energies, robotics, Internet of Things, and alternative power. So all the other areas that will grow are also medical sciences, hospitality, like tourism, entertainment, and spiritual matters. One Feng Shui master predicted that period 9, okay, are you ready for this? Period 9 will see many middle-aged women rise. So I think this is good news. There will be plenty of opportunities for women. Okay. And in period 8, men were very successful. So we saw the rise of middle-aged men like Barack Obama, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk. It's our turn to shine. Okay. So women and middle-aged women especially will shine in period 9. So maybe Alibaba will become City Baba. So the year of the rabbit, okay, is predicted to be a year that is full of hope. That the beginning of spring has a special meaning. Spring is full of hope. It is the end of the gloomy weather. Spring is all about beginnings, transformations. Okay, ice turns into water. The sun comes out brighter, warmer. So flowers start to bloom. Animals in hibernation wake up to go outside again. And everything comes alive. So this means it is new hope for us, and especially so for women. So I hope all of us will grow, and the men will also work harder to grow and overcome all obstacles, find our paths, and realize our dreams. So I hope that all of you will enjoy your holidays, gatherings with your loved ones. But remember, COVID is still around us. So do practice safety and keep your mask on in crowded places. See, this rabbit is also wearing a mask. And I would like to wish you good health, 身体健康. And lastly, Happy New Year, 新年快乐. Ampun 20. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor. A very interesting presentation, starting with like storytelling with the children, which I have no idea that the story is like that, and end on a very happy note. Whilst I'm waiting for questions, just a few things. Number one, middle-aged women. How old is middle-aged women? I mean, I'm trying this idea. How old is middle-aged women, you think?
I'm not sure, not exactly sure, but I think it will be, well, in the 40s and 50s.
You think so, huh? Right. I don't know. I wonder whether, probably middle-aged 40. I'd like to ask Professor Yu, but he's out there, no? What is middle-age? But okay, 40 to 60. I think 50 is a bit young for middle-age.
60, okay.
60. Well, we see Italy has already a new prime minister. Well, I certainly hope that Malaysia will see a lady prime minister. I mean, 20 years is long enough for our women to come to the front, yeah? So, but Malaysia will not be easy with all the complexities, but definitely for Malaysia. But for the world, I do see the emergence of women coming on, whether it's in technology or in the political field or science. The only thing about women is that we are not so pushy as men, and we are sometimes a little bit too honest, right? But in the end, honesty pays them. Huh? So that's good news for all women. But for men, don't worry. As long as you're good, you're also as good as women. So I think there's a platform for all. And I want to rat. I don't have a rat in my house. I only have real rats, which are terrible. I don't have a human rat. What is the, among all the zodiac, which is the most popular zodiac, where all mothers want their children to be?
I think in my experience, I have heard my friends and I've read in newspapers that in the year of the dragon, you know, it is a popular year, and the birth rates in Malaysia would rise in the dragon year. So I think, you know, sometimes I think also for those who believe in the astrology, they also look at how the year of birth can match or be compatible with the parents. So, so maybe, you know, the dragon year may not be generally popular, but because it may not be compatible with the parents who have, you know, a different reading, for example.
Do you have the zodiac signs of some of these prominent Chinese leaders? Xi Jinping, what is he? Do you know what is Xi Jinping?
Oh, no, I'm not sure.
Not sure, yeah, because these are movers and shakers of the world. And I think what Xi Jinping says or thinks or acts is very important for the position of the world. So I really don't hear people talking about rats and snakes. You know. I suppose they're not common animals. I wonder whether there are any snakes in your family.
No, I don't think so.
No. Can you imagine, you are a real snake, man? You know, this are very complimentary.
But I do know a person who is a relative, not in my immediate family, but quite a distant relative. But she's lovely. She's, you know, she's so kind. She's lovely, and very warm. You know, and giving. So I don't think the sign reflects anymore.
Definitely it doesn't. By the way, Xi Jinping, I got a message. He's a snake.
So I think there are also 4 pillars because, you know, even if the person is born in the year of the snake, we also, you know, the month, the day, and the hour.
What about Anwar Ibrahim? What is he? Does anybody know what Anwar Ibrahim is? What about Biden?
It'll be interesting to find out.
Who, you know, Putin. maybe I'm just find out what Putin is. I mean, I don't know whether how much to believe in all these horoscope and zodiac sign, because the English zodiac, I'm an Aries, right? In the Chinese zodiac, I'm a Dog. What are you?
I'm a rabbit.
That's easier for you. And the English?
Aries.
Like me then, I think I do believe in the English zodiac a bit character. I'm very Aryan. I'm very Aryan. Aryan, yeah? Yeah. So any advice to parents who have children, difficult children in relation to the zodiac?
Well, I think children relate as much to us when we make the effort to relate to them. Sometimes they can be, being a lecturer, facing young people all the time. We are also very sensitive towards how young people will react. Nowadays, youths, they're so exposed to all the content, the media content, and so they're influenced. We don't know what they've watched, how they think. They may be physically growing up here, going to school here, but their mindset is maybe a little bit different depending on what they consume. So parents are also very important to reflect that, to guide them. So it doesn't really matter, I think. Maybe the zodiac will help us to understand our children better. But I think that also, depends on the other pillars. If we are not looking at the year of birth only, we also look at the hour, the month, the day, and the hour. So if you want to know your children better, maybe you have their, astrology read. Then you can, maybe plan better and see how to communicate with them better.
Do you know that is this a popular practice for the Chinese to refer to the horoscope? I know it's very popular for Indians, for Hindus. For the Hindus, it's like a must. But I haven't come across not even one family that's very very followed by the horoscope. Do you have come across?
I don't know. I think maybe it's I would imagine so, because there'll be a lot of people going to fortune tellers, and I hear, especially during just before the Chinese New Year or during the Chinese New Year, to know what their fortunes are for the year ahead. So, but I think, as I said, it's not, we don't have to believe it entirely. It's also, if you are interested, maybe, to get a reading, it will help us to better prepare. But I haven't personally got my fortune told. In fact, I don't think I would dare to hear it, or I wouldn't want to know it. I rather live each day as it is and take it as it is.
Yeah, I think most people, especially with some science background, would tend to sort of move more into the direction of sciences and all. But it's always good to know a bit about horoscopes.
Yes.
So
this is also like an ancient science. It wasn't created yesterday. It has been around for a long time. So I would imagine that there must be some truth in it. Although, we don't have evidence, we didn't collect evidence scientifically, but there may be some truth in it, like feng shui. It is a science that has been developed for so long, so many centuries. So I would imagine that there must be.
Are you familiar with I Ching?
Oh, yes.
You are?
Yes.
Yeah, I Ching, can you explain a bit about I Ching? What is that?
I don't think I can do that, but
I Ching is a human science.
Yeah.
Isn't it thousands of years in the Chinese belief? And they actually can predict a lot of things. I'm going to tell you a personal story. About 30 years ago, I went up to Lijiang in the course of my work to promote tourism and to see how they develop Lijiang. So the guy said, "Hey, Tan Sri, can I take you up the hill? There's a I Ching temple, very accurate." And as I get out, I'm a Christian. These things are not part of my upbringing. But in order not to offend him, I said, "Okay lah, I got with you." So I went up. There's this priest, the I Ching priest. It's a beautiful jade tablet there. He doesn't know who I am. So I just turned around. He read it. The people say, you're a man in a woman's world. I said, oh, that's interesting. and you are the husband of all women. Oh, I am not lesbian, man, please.
I
But
think many
I'm-
people would kill to be in that position, the
Yeah.
husband.
But what I'm trying to say is that these two, I mean, I am a strong woman, right? And my direction is very much empowerment of women. And my political movement is very much about equality, equity. Equality is not 50-50%. I always tell people, equality is not you 50%, I 50%. Equality is you're given a choice. If I want to be the best sweeper, I'm given a choice, best sweeper. Okay, then even better still, my secretary also did the same thing, followed me. Yeah, I Ching, same thing. And the paper says that you can be involved in a very big court case. And you had just the recent tragedy. Oh, I'm like, whoa. So I say, hey, friend, my secretary, is that true? He said, yeah. My husband passed away. Recently, accident. I didn't want to tell you. And yes, there's going to be a court case. I said, wow, I can't believe this, 2 hours. So that's since then, I've been rather fascinated by I Ching. I Ching, is it called I Ching? Yeah. And many of my science-orientated Chinese friends also believe a lot in I Ching. So I don't know how is I Ching related to Zodiac. Is it in any way related?
When I was preparing for this talk, actually, a very nice friend of mine had offered to help me, and he is a Feng Shui master.
Yeah.
And he did explain to me when I explained about the period 8 and period 9. And he said, there's nothing to do with the animal signs. Period 8, period 9 is actually part of the I Ching. And it is the science of I Ching that it's where this cycles were in a way theorized. So he was telling me also that this is nothing to do with religion or which race you're from, which country you're from. It is a science by itself. So many people dedicate a lot of years studying this, and a lot of big organizations. And he was telling me his own experience is that he has also done consultancies for multiple, times for different people from different nationalities and races. And when they wanted some guide, let's say I want to start my new business, or my business not doing well, I want to see how I want to grow my business. So, people, there are many people who are interested in this and doing this as a hobby. So, but there are people who are paying for this kind of consultancies. And I would say there's no harm in doing it or reading it or getting to know or even following it, because there's only good. And of course, we cannot have good science and just sit and watch Netflix. We still have to work hard. So women will still have to work hard. It's just that the stars are on your side. So maybe if you have if you like to do some investments, or if you like to improve yourself, if you're looking at a promotion at your job place, your workplace, maybe you have to work harder, more strategically. So in other words, the stars and the planets are helping you. It is your time to shine, but sitting on your couch is not going to help. It's not going to drop on your lap, but you have to work very hard. So now it's a little bit easier. All right. So men are also the same. If men also have to work harder, all right, maybe to look out for more opportunities, and also to assist the women, because women are also part of the family, part of your family, part of your life. So I think it's a very good year ahead, and I really look forward to it.
I think nothing beats hard work, and nothing beats diligence, integrity, and the heart of gold. Yeah, you can be the most clever, hardworking, but if your heart is harsh, and your priorities are all upside down, you can't be very happy, can you? So, I wonder, it'd be interesting whether there's a study we made comparing I Ching and the horoscope of the Hindus. It'd be very interesting because it's very ingrained into the society of the Hindus. born, married, do some big thing, do anything, read the hour by the hour, and eating too. But yeah, there's two sides of the continent. It'd be interesting for them to come to somebody do research and say, is there a similarity? And there's so many mysterious things, yeah? So, wonderful. Is there any questions? Are there any rabbits out there waiting to enjoy this next year? Anyone is wanting to have babies and all? Rabbits are not bad year, yeah? Okay. So, thank you so very much. I understand that Utah, oh, by the way, I want to take this opportunity before we end to thank Yayasan Tunku Fauzia, their Royal Highnesses, for being so gracious to officiate this webinar. And it touches us so much that supports us and share, because we also have nice comments, everyone, about this webinar. And also thank Utah under the leadership of Prof. Yu for immediately coming forward and doing all the work. Guat Yen and the team spent a lot of time, Yap and everybody, the MC, the wonderful MC, to make sure this webinar is interesting. And for those who have attended, please share all what you learned with your friends and tell them what they have missed. So next time if we have a webinar, you'll all join us. And I understand there's a special program for Prof. Yu to join us. Yes? Yes. And Tuanku, Ampun Tuanku, Utah would like to present a special Chinese New Year gift to Tuanku and also Tuanku Kupuan and the family. So we will see what the present is all about. Tuanku? Tuanku, this is a couplet. Ampun Tuanku, this is a couplet. We are going to open. 1, 2, 3. So, Prof. Yu will explain this couplet and you send it personally up to Istana Tuanku. So, Prof. Yu would like to explain the couplet.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Okay, 国泰民安，歌盛世，人寿年丰，庆新春。
Okay, 国泰
民安。
What is that meaning?
Basically, it wishes that our nations is prosperous, and then we together and with peaceful harmony, and also all the people here live happily. And then this is the time that we actually treasure our values, and then together live happily and peacefully.
Next one.
The next one is actually hope that we all will be actually healthy, and then with a prosperous year, that together we like to actually welcome the arrival of this new Chinese New Year. Thank you.
Ampun Tuanku, happy Chinese New Year, Ampun Tuanku.
Yeah.
And you positive, right? Right. Where's my something? I haven't seen yet. Participants, we have come to the last of our speakers, the 6 speakers. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of them for all the input. It was a very, very interesting webinar. I'm sure you agree, and we have learned a lot. And it gives me this gratefulness that we are blessed with a wonderful country, a country that, other than the recent tragedy, actually we're a very safe country. And we cherish each other, we cherish each other's culture, we share in each other's joy. You know, whenever there is a celebration, Hari Raya Aidilfitri, the Chinese are equally busy with our Malay friends, eating, enjoying, etc. And when Deepavali comes, we got Vanakam and all things. So I believe we must all give our very best to this country, contribute whatever we can, especially in the context of sharing our good things and building peace and harmony through unity. With this, 新年快乐，万事如意. Happy New Year. May everything you touch be perfect and successful. Ampun Tuanku. That's my ending.
Terima kasih Tan Sri Datuk Sri Dr. Ng Yen Yen. 新年快乐，万事如意. Demikianlah tadi sesi webinar pada hari ini. Majlis ingin merakamkan sekalung penghargaan dan ucapan terima kasih kepada Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri Datuk Sri Dr. Ng Yen Yen selaku moderator dan juga barisan penceramah kita atas perkongsian bermandat dan penuh manfaat demi masyarakat dan rakyat bermartabat. Acara majlis diteruskan dengan titah penutupan program webinar Yayasan Tuanku Fauziah Women in Search of Excellence siri ke-17 oleh Duli Yang Teramat Mulia Raja Puan Muda Perlis Tuanku Hajah Lailatul Syahrin Akashah Khalil.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. Raja berdaulat, rakyat berilmu, negeri sejahtera, Perlis maju. Alhamdulillah, praises to Allah Azza wa Jalla for His blessings. First and foremost, a special thanks to all speakers for sharing many insights on the Chinese New Year customs and traditions. The Chinese New Year is an important celebration for the Chinese community in Malaysia. The Chinese New Year provides opportunities for families to come together and wish each other good fortune for the coming year. In addition, Chinese New Year celebration is also centered around removing the bad and the old and welcoming the new and the good. It is a time to worship ancestors and pray for prosperity. I sincerely hope that this webinar has enlightened everyone on the various customs and traditions observed during the Chinese New Year celebrations in Malaysia. Once again, thank you to all speakers for your insights, and with this, I officially end the Yayasan Tuanku Fauziah YTF webinar, sharing the joy of the Rabbit Chinese New Year 2023. Kongsi Fachai, 新年快乐. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih.
Menjunjung kasih Tuanku. Majlis diteruskan dengan persembahan video Yayasan Tuanku Fauziah. Majlis dengan ini berbesar hati memohon kerjasama semua untuk sama-sama bergambar secara atas talian bersama Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri Datuk Sri Dr. Ng Yen Yen, Yang Berbahagia Engineer Profesor Datuk Dr. Yu Hong Taj dan para penceramah. Mohon berikan senyuman manis dengan kiraan 1, 2, 3. Dan lagak bebas. 1, 2, 3. Menjunjung kasih tuanku. Seterusnya, sekali lagi majlis dengan berbesar hati memohon kerjasama semua untuk sama-sama bergambar kenangan secara atas talian bersama para hadirin. Tangkap layar akan diambil sebanyak 3 kali. Hadirin dimohon untuk membuka kamera video masing-masing. Sekarang, mohon berikan senyuman manis dengan kiraan 1, 2, 3. Sekali lagi senyum. 1, 2, 3. Dan untuk lagak bebas. 1, 2, 3. Menjunjung kasih tuanku. Majlis merakamkan setinggi-tinggi penghargaan kepada semua pihak yang terlibat secara langsung maupun tidak langsung dalam menjayakan webinar Yayasan Tuanku Fauziah ini, Women in Search of Excellence, siri ke-17. Sia-sia Tasha. Semoga kerjasama kali ini dapat diteruskan dan dipanjangkan untuk sesi webinar yang akan datang, insya-Allah. Ampun tuanku, patut menyembah maklum bahawa hanya setakat ini sahaja atau cara majlis pada hari ini. Sekali lagi, patut bagi pihak majlis merafak sembah, menjunjung setinggi-tinggi kasih atas limpah perkenan duli-duli tuanku bagi menyempurnakan majlis pada hari ini. Sesungguhnya, keberangkatan duli-duli tuanku amatlah besar ertinya pada patik-patik sekalian. Sekiranya terdapat sebarang kekilafan mahupun kekurangan di sepanjang perjalanan majlis ini, Patik mewakili seluruh warga kerja memohon ampun dan maaf atas sebarang kesulitan yang terjadi. Sekian sahaja daripada Patik, Izwazi Muhammad Nur. Semoga kita berjumpa lagi di lain hari. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Menjunjung kasih tuanku, ampun tuanku.
Dirgahayu sejahtera, Duli yang teramat mulia, Tuanku Raja Muda, pewaris tata jamal